All right, and welcome back to Velocity Online Volume 3. This is Syneth coming back to introduce the new runners that we have coming in. We have Etchy coming in right now to play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Take it away, Etchy.
Hi, we're going to play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, as previously described. I am joined by Corvame.
Hi, I'm Corvame. I used to run this game, and I sold you a diploma sometimes.
And before we start, I need to know all the incentives. I need them written in the chat, because they're going to happen very fast.
Well, only the first two.
Yeah, we have a couple minutes before the third one, but I need the first two.
Oh, you didn't do a stormy one?
Naming two, I will post in chat right now.
Yeah, we did a player character, rival, and Pikachu.
Also have... Oh, which chat do you want me to put them in?
I'd just runner's chat is fine. Or incentives. Whatever. So, first things first, I'm setting the time right now. This is for two things. One is, this gives me a chance at an extra Moonstone, and two, this helps with making sure some funky stuff doesn't happen later. The Moonstone thing is that, I need to Discord screen share. The Moonstone thing is that basically after midnight rolls over, if I've already picked up a Moonstone, then I have a chance at getting a second Moonstone if the clock rolls over at the right time. And then also there's some funky stuff with Synchronize that we're going to explain way later, because it's a lot to explain right now. So they're in runner's chat, so we are ready to go. So let's go do this. Oh, I did not set the time.
I've been muted this whole time.
Oh, hello.
Hi, I'm Corvame. I used to run this game. I don't know if anybody heard that. For some reason, I got muted at some point, and I don't know why. My Discord's been really weird lately, and I apologize. I tried so hard to make it not mentioned that you weren't Discord streaming, to not call you out, that you just called yourself out, so...
I'm sorry. I mean, like, I gotta do what I gotta do. First thing to note here, too, is this game uses Joy-Con.
Yeah,
I had Joy-Cons the entire time, or a Pokeball Plus, which is an atrocious proprietary accessory. And what that means is there are motion controls in this game. We're going to be using motion controls to catch up to 50 Pokemon. Why are we catching 50 Pokemon, May?
So every single gym in this game has an entry requirement. And the entry requirement for Koga's gym, which is going to be the third to last one that we do, is you have to have... Wait, no, second to last one that we do.
Starting time.
Is you have to have 50 Pokemon caught, or else you cannot enter the gym. So that's like the main thing that the game is rooted around. Catching Pokemon in this game also gives you experience, and so it's also much more than battles do. And so it's also the main way that we gain experience in this game.
Yeah. So the intro is pretty standard Pokemon stuff. As it may explained, a lot of this run revolves around meeting that 50 catch requirement as effectively as possible. It's very similar to Fire Leafy Round 2, if you've ever seen that. That's like a very long name here, which is also Fro.
Where am I getting the game audio from?
Discord?
Oh, I've been muted.
Your name is also
So confused.
And then our rival's name is... Chicago. This is our rival. His name is Trace.
Chicago!
Yeah,
Let's go. I love Chicago.
It's a capital C. It's 4 O's. 1, 2, 3. Also, apparently
It was coming from
limit.
Discord,
I thought it was 10.
but I have it muted. I'm so confused at all times.
Uh-huh. What's a Chicago?
I think it's
Next question.
probably confusing the... What's a Chicago? It's a city in the Midwest in Illinois. That's
very
where I'm
cold
located
there.
right now.
Okay. So, standard Pokemon stuff is going to happen in this first part. We come out of a TV, and we are suddenly confused by our sentience. And then at that point,
I get
we're going
that
to set some
a
options.
lot.
And I'm going to do just like text speed to fast. There's an option to turn off movies or make them skippable, which is what I'm going to turn on. And then some other minor stuff in the menu, like not giving things nicknames. That's not going to apply.
Unlike any other modern RPG, in Pokemon, what they consider to be a movie is anything that's a pre-rendered cutscene. So we still can't skip most of the cutscenes in this game. So like anytime there's like an in-world event like this, it doesn't get skipped.
Apparently, I did all caps for Chicago. I was like, why is he yelling at me? So I need to save before I catch this Pikachu. I'm looking for a runnable Pikachu. In our case, runnable is basically, we want to look for a specific nature on it, which is not minus attack or not minus special attack.
There are
the way the
25
Pikachus work in this
natures
game is that they all have fixed max stats, but nature is not fixed.
Yeah, so there's 25 different natures that a Pokemon can have. Essentially, one stat gets boosted by 10%, and one stat gets decreased by 10%, other than HP. And so, in this game, because all of the IVs are always going to be perfect, the only thing we care about is if we have a good nature or not. And these are all generated when the Pokemon is caught.
Okay, so it just said Chicago, like, normal case there. I don't know why it was all caps when he said it earlier.
Because it's shouting. I don't know.
Yeah, he's shouting. You can tell this is a female Pika because it has a heart tail.
That is true. You can run, yeah, you can run pretty much anything. It's just better to get an actual good starter.
Yep.
You don't want to run minus attack or minus special attack, but you can.
Yeah, if my second one's also unrunnable, depending on what it is, I probably will just run it. But I'm willing to give it 2 tries here. But yeah, that's how the motion controls work if you didn't see that. I have to do a full kind of like 90-degree motion with the Joy-Cons. I use a grip to plug in the Joy-Con, and later on I'll be using this Joy-Con as well and plugging it into the grip on and off to
We're going to be cheating.
Cheating. But we'll talk about that.
Don't tell anyone.
Later. Huh?
Don't tell anyone.
See, unfortunately, I can't.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're usually named one.
Pika.
You don't notice that sometimes they're yelling at you in all caps.
I guess so, yeah.
Even though in all caps one is an exclamation
point. He was
point.
talking about himself. It was just, that's not, no.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know why you're like interrogating the way the rival experiences the world.
Mm-hmm. My bad. Okay, so this is Pikachu.
I mean, it's like how what your mom calls Pikachu. That game you're playing on the Nintendo.
Yeah. Brave is perfect.
Brave.
All right, we have a
very good.
Pika.
Brave is plus attack minus speed.
Love to see it. So yeah, one of the big differences between this version and Eevee version, for those that don't know, there's a Pika version and an Eevee version. Both runs are very, very similar in the last hour, but the first 2 hours end up being very different. The general order you do things is the same, but Eevee is a much different Pokemon from Pikachu. And we'll see, it was all caps there. It was all caps. It's just like when you're like saying who's saying it, I guess. Anyway, we'll go more.
It's like the original games, where all the names are capitalized. It's like the original games, everything's capitalized. It's because it's like the character that's saying something. It's
but they fixed that in Sword Shield and BDSP. They have the name above the text box.
The only thing they fixed in BDSP.
So yeah, this is what the game looks like. There are no like random encounters like older ancient video games or BDSP. They're all overworld. You can see them. You can dodge them. Usually, they can also spawn on top of you, which is not.
Which is very cool.
Thing. But just kind of the nature of the situation. So ideally, you just don't get that many random encounters, but generally, you're gonna get multiple throughout the run, and there's not really anything you can do about it. Random encounters of Pokemon you already caught are much faster. You get a cut animation, which is really cool.
in like an actual run because you can figure it out based on what your stats are when you level up, since you always know what your IVs are. I do like that it shouts Chicago every time. That's how I feel every time I try to get you to move somewhere.
So this is the rival fight. Our rival is Eevee, and he's going to evolve that Eevee into a Jolteon later. If we played Eevee version, we would have a Eevee fighting a Pikachu that evolves into a Raichu. However, while his Eevee can evolve, our Pikachu cannot evolve. We're going to be using just the Pikachu with the help of a little help from some friends here and there, on and off until we swap mains at the very end of the run.
That's why this is the better game, is because this game is about friendship, and except for friendship does lose time. Right? Yeah, this Pikachu's jacked.
3-shot is very rare, so I got to crit the first one, and then one of the 2 other hits has to be a good roll, basically, or the crit has to be really good. The crit did look pretty decent, so I don't know which one it was.
Can you get marathon world record?
Yeah, 3 turns, super rare, so super awesome to get that.
Your friend's older sister gives you some sportswear.
And we're gonna
because there's a whole mechanic. Pikachu. It's kind of like Pokemon and Me from Gen 6 and 7, where you can pet your Pikachu. We're not going to do that. It loses time.
Yep. Friendship actually plays a very interesting role in this run for both Pikachu and our main later. It's much more important in the Eevee version because you want to avoid high friendship at all costs, but in Pikachu it's not as big of a deal. I'll talk a lot about the version differences between the two. I didn't fully introduce myself, but my name is Etchy. I am running Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and I am the current world record holder for Let's Go Eevee, and I have 2nd place in Let's Go Pikachu. I am 2 seconds off world record.
Well, I have 11th place in Let's Go Pikachu, so we're pretty much even here.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I have a better diploma time, it's fine.
You probably had a better Pika PB than me at one point.
At one point, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at stats here, you can see a +1 that was in yellow.
Please remember that I accidentally ran this game on digital or physical for like a year.
Never mind then. Yeah, you didn't. No, it wasn't until later.
Yeah.
So that yellow value is a unique thing only to Let's Go. The yellow value is called an awakening value. Basically, in other games, you may be familiar with effort values or EVs, which are basically like you fight a Pokemon and it gives you a value, and then after every X amount of the value, you get an increase in a stat. This is a much simpler system, and it's also much crazier. So basically, every level up, I have a chance to get a +1 stat in any stat. So there you saw it. I got it in special attack.
Very good.
There's some level of like certain. You can have this thing called characteristics, which basically increases your lean towards a certain stat. So if I have like a plus attack characteristic, that means I'm more likely to get plus attack AVs, but it's still random. So you could just not get any. Sometimes you can get like 27 straight special attack AVs. What I want to see is as many special attack and attack AVs as possible. Definitely more special attack. The fact that I am plus attack nature is really good, but plus special attack is much better for mid game, where plus attack is better for early game. We're entering Viridian Forest here, and this is where we're going to actually start catching some Pokemon. I'm not going to catch any Pokemon though until I get a lure. Do you want to explain what a lure is, May?
Yeah, so a lure causes Pokemon to spawn more rapidly, and more importantly than that, it also makes it so that every Pokemon that you catch is, or every Pokemon that spawns after when the lure is up, is guaranteed to be 1 level higher than the route's maximum. So there's not, to explain that in a way that makes sense, let's say that like Caterpies in this route can be found from, I don't know, level 3 to 6.
Yeah.
It's just like throwing out a random number. With the lure up, they will always be level 7, which is good because Caterpie evolves 3 times, or twice. And so we want that counts as 3 different catches for that 50 that we need for Koga. And it also isn't very many levels, because one of the bad things about this game is that leveling up is ungodly slow in this game, because you just have to watch every single level, and it's about 2 seconds per level box. So it's really important that you catch things as high level as possible, and that you don't over level things as much as you can. Yeah, a lot of the game, like a lot of top running, is learning like when to box things to optimize not getting over levels and things like that.
Yeah, like boxing. So in this game, you can actually use the box anywhere, which is pretty sweet and a very nice feature. However, that also means that like you have to balance between like, should I hold on to this for a few more levels, or should I box it now? And there's a lot of decision making that comes with that, and a lot of micromanagement that makes this run really interesting. I wasn't supposed to bury this. Somebody said I would not bury these anymore.
Yeah, I don't know why you buried.
I forgot.
Caterpie. That's some crazy nonsense.
My new strategy is to YOLO throw immediately and always keep YOLO throwing until it gets in the ball. Anyway.
I like that. So there are a lot of multipliers that can get applied to your catch, and that pretty much is the bulk of how the experience that you're going to get in this game. The most important one that is the excellent catch bonus. There's a bonus for getting a nice, a good, or an excellent catch, which is all dependent on how small the ring is when you throw it, and it has to get in the ring. A nice catch is a 1.1 multiplier, a great catch is a 1.25 multiplier, and a excellent catch is a 1.5 multiplier. Now you might notice that a trainer fell into the sky. That's the support trainer, which is this game's co-op feature. You can spawn in the support trainer at any time as long as you're not using Secret Technique C-Skim, or you have only one Pokemon in the party. You need a second Pokemon in the party to spawn the support trainer. What the support trainer lets you do is it lets you catch things with 2 players, which has a bunch of benefits, and it lets you treat any battle as a doubles battle. If you catch something with the support trainer, it uses 2 Pokeballs, and the second Pokeball is a duplicate of the first Pokeball, no matter what Pokeball you're actually using. So essentially doubles your chances of catching things, as far as I understand it. And finally, you also get a 2 times synchronized bonus for your experience gain if you throw them both if they both land at the same time. And that's an animation that plays, and that's really easy for us to make consistent, which is why by using the grip, because it pretty much just forces the 2 controllers to be thrown to move in sequence, in parallel.
That doesn't always work.
That's what we're talking
about. Motion controlled, you throw things normally and they just do not go the way they're supposed to. The Pokeballs just fly in random directions. It's the joys of motion controls.
So right here, Etchy's trying to find an Oddish, and that is for 2 reasons. One, the entry requirement for Brock's Gym is you need to have either an Oddish, or you need to have a Grass type or a Water type Pokemon. There are only 2 Grass type Pokemons available to us at this point in the game, and they are Bulbasaur and Oddish. And there's only 0 Water type Pokemons available. This is very unlucky.
Come on.
If the lure runs out, also this is really bad. We also want to use. There you go. You also want to use Oddish for pretty much a bunch of the next couple fights, because Oddish is just really good against the Pokemon that we're going to be coming up against. So we just use Oddish and it saves time.
Yeah, and
I'll Pikachu's friends
between Eevee and Pikachu a lot throughout the run. Oddish is one of the big first ones, and the reason for that is because in Eevee version, you're instead of Oddish, there's only a Bellsprout, and Bellsprout is much worse in a lot of ways because Bellsprout just has Vine Whip as a physical attacker and also does no damage, whereas Oddish is a special attacker, which is much more useful against Brock and some other stuff in early game. And this is
could you imagine
to really start diverging between the 2 versions, because I'm going to be using Oddish a lot here, whereas Eevee, I just use Eevee as much as possible basically until I get out of Mount Moon.
Could you imagine if turning off the sound worked in this game too? It'd be like a hour and a half long run.
It'd be hilarious.
Has anyone ever tried it? I know somebody tried it in Let's Go Sword and Shield yesterday. It does not help.
No, the game
doesn't help item pickup.
Something like this happen.
Yeah. The reference that we're making is that I may or may not accidentally yesterday have discovered that if you turn off the music in BDSP, it makes the game significantly faster to speedrun.
Pretty great.
It is pretty great. I'm a huge fan of it because I like anything that makes Pokemon faster. Because I don't know if anybody knows this, but RPG speedrunning tends to be quite long.
Let's Go's only 3 hours. That's not.
Yeah, Let's Go's long. Okay, Let's Go is 3 hours, which is quick, which is an insane thing that Pokemon speedrunners say.
Alright, so now we have the Oddish. I'm going to get rid of our Superwoman friend here, and I'm also going to just go ahead and swap the Oddish to slot 1. Oddish is now our main for the next 3 fights. Chicago!
I get drilled in your mind.
You got 5 potions from Chicago, wow. You got here very fast. So yeah, so if you didn't have Oddish here, what Pikachu or Eevee would have to do is use Double Kick. You saw I just learned it. Pikachu learns at level 9, Eevee gets at level 10. However, with Oddish, we just spam Absorb until we win, and it's wonderful. And it actually, like, one of the nice things about Pikachu version early game that makes it both faster and more flexible is that difference, because getting Eevee to level 10 is actually not that easy if you don't get any like glowing Pokemon.
Yeah, we didn't explain glowing Pokemon, did we?
No, go ahead. Explain it.
So sometimes Pokemon will spawn with like a blue or a red aura. This means the Pokemon is either very large or very small. And that just applies an extra multiplier to the experience that you gain from the catch. They also have a chance to be like extra small or large, which is like a 20 times, it's ridiculous. It's an insane amount of experience that you end up getting. But those are very rare. And you can't tell if it's going to be very, very big or very, very small until you've already caught it. There are times where that can kill your run.
One-shot the Onix, depends on how good this Oddish is, on how good that chance is. Sometimes you can use Growth if you want to play it safe, but we're just going to get the one-shot. Easy.
Oddish.
Goddish. And yeah, like this is a much slower fight with Pikachu, because you have to use like double kicks and just hope for the best. This is a really low speed on.
Or you can 2-controller it.
You could 2-controller it, which is still also not fast unless you're using the Oddish.
Yeah, we don't. You would think that we'd want to use the 2v1s for every fight because it's extremely broken, but it is slower overall than just if you can just do a fight with one controller if it saves within a threshold essentially.
Yeah, you're probably not going to see me do the first 2-controller fight until like Cerulean at the earliest.
Yeah.
Situational. We're going to do some shopping here, and shopping in this game is great because I immediately have access to X items. And right now I'm going to get some Great Balls as well, which Blue just gave me. That's not really our rival, but just a character who used to be a rival in the original games. This game's a Yellow remake, by the way. Pokemon Yellow remake.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with X items, they boost what's called a combat stage by 2 stages in this game. That is something they changed in Gen 7 to make them twice as good. But they didn't change the prices, so they're twice as effective as they were in the original games, but they're the same cost, which is fantastic. We take advantage of that a lot. They boost your combat. They boost the relevant combat stages by 2, which is effectively, you can think of that as doubling the stat. And this route we use in Pokemon speedrunning in general. We use X items a ton because they're extremely good. But oh boy, howdy do we use them in this run.
Yeah. If you can get away with not using X item, you should, because opening the bag is a little bit slow. But the amount of like boosting you get from them is just so good that you cannot help it. Especially once we get to end game, when we're actually like just barely meeting the level of our enemies or like below them. We're gonna be using them like on every single fight.
And we don't use them nearly as much early game. Sandshrew is a rare spawn here.
It's pretty rare, so I don't usually bank on getting them. But it is always very nice.
Oh yeah, there's another bonus I didn't mention before, which is the first ball bonus. You get a 1.5 times multiplier if you catch it with the first ball, which did not happen there.
Yeah, so you're going to see a lot of, like, the difference between, say, my play versus, like, a newer player or someone who's not gunning for, like, the top times is I YOLO throw a lot. Because you don't really have a lot of control over whether or not you're going to get an attack from the enemy Pokemon or not. And if you get the YOLO throw, you save a lot of time. And that time save adds up pretty severely. Oop. And a lot of times I'll do it when I don't need the EXP desperately. And in Pikachu version, it's actually very common to just not need the EXP. It's very easy to
the fights in this game, I would say, are overall like not as like scary as some other Pokemon games, but in exchange, there's a lot more variance in a lot of other places.
Yeah. Yep.
Like all the catching, and like the spawns and things like that, there's way more variance than there is in your average Pokemon run. We pay an outrageous $500 to buy a Magikarp here because the average catch takes us about 30 seconds, whether that's an evolution or catching something with a good cycle. But gift Pokemon, which this Magikarp counts as, is extremely fast. As you just noticed, it takes about 12 seconds. There are 3 gift Pokemon that we'll get over the course of the run, and they're all just extremely quick.
Yeah, it's just too fast to pass up on. You can catch a really high level Magikarp later, and then it evolves in one level to Gyarados. The problem is you don't want to rely on Magikarp spawning at the very end of the catching section of the run. And
Magikarp's like weirdly hard to catch in this game too.
What?
Magikarp's also like weirdly hard to catch in this game.
Yeah, it flops around weirdly. If you just like Silver Rouse it, it gets in no matter what you do. But it's still not like fun. It's still easy for it to get trolled a little bit.
Somebody in chat's asking, both Let's Go games are actually supposed to be yellow remakes, because originally they actually said that we're going to make Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Psyduck, because Psyduck is also yellow. And then they were like, but we looked online and people made all this fan art of Eevee and really liked Eevee, so we thought that might go over better. I, for one, am bummed out that we did not get Let's Go Psyduck, because that would be honestly incredible.
So here's the first big menu, Mount Moon. I'm going to try to deposit a couple things here, mainly just the Sandshrew and the Mankey, because they're really...
Chansey!
At the menu now. Okay. I was forced into a very peculiar situation.
Yeah, this is weird.
Because this is an unlured Chansey. Which means it's not going to be really hard to catch, and it's not going to give me like a ton of EXP, so it's a lot nicer. Like, Chansey's great.
Chansey.
But sometimes it's kind of bad because you get too much EXP from it. This is not an issue if it's unlured.
It's also an annoying catch. Because as you can see, the ring is orange, which means it's harder. It also bounces around, which is always annoying. Because side catches are less reliable than forward. Throws.
Alright, so that was first ball, so I get that bonus. Chansey is just a nice free poke to get, and you'll see 700 EXP. No joke, that's a lot.
Yeah. Chansey is what's called the rare spawn for this map. Every map has a rare spawn, which is a sub 1% encounter. But if you're on a catch chain, which is a mechanic they introduced in this game as well, or that they expanded upon pretty heavily in this game as well, then the chances of the rare spawning become much, much higher. Only one rare spawn can be on the screen at once, which is really annoying if you're trying to shiny hunt the rare spawn for a map. But it can, again, you can always just find it normally. The rare spawn in the Viridian Forest, for example, is Bulbasaur, which is a nice bonus catch to get, but it's, again, not very common.
Yeah.
Unless you're on a 5+
like
catch
that
chain.
I don't like bank on in the run, but are good to have if you see them. If you paid attention in those level ups, you probably could just see how slow each individual level is. That's why I had to deposit the Sandshrew and the Magikarp for it, because those would have each gained like 5 levels, so I would have lost 20 seconds.
That's useless.
And it would
they level up too, or they evolve too late.
Because of how that just played out, I had to deposit again immediately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fight the trainer early. The next trainer, normally you fight him after you go down the ladder. I'm going to fight him now, so I can shuffle my party around, get rid of these bugs, and also get rid of the Chansey, because the Chansey's also super low level. And I'm also trying to avoid Butterfree hitting level 13, because it learns 3 moves at once, and that is very slow. So that the individually define each one.
An important thing about the rare spawn, too, that I know you mentioned before, is that the rare spawn is different than just a spawn that is rare. They are separate concepts in this. That's not lured.
No, it's lured. It's lured.
Are you lured?
Yeah.
Oh.
Great is actually preferred here, because my XP is totally good. I might be if I get very early, I can skip Geodude and delay it until Rock Tunnel, which is slightly more optimal, because then I can just evolve it into Grappler instead of catching another Grappler.
Yeah. It doesn't really affect the fact that so like if there are spawns that are like sub 1% or like 1% spawns that are not the rare spawns, you can't chain them to force them to show up, which does not matter in this run, but it matters really hard in AOP and Diploma, the catch 'em all categories, because we just don't have a way to manipulate them, which is very fun. Clefable is also a 1% spawn on the bottom floor here. Whereas Chansey remains the rare spawn.
Yeah, so normally you just go down.
There's a lot of really mechanics around catching stuff that they didn't keep in Gen 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did some cool stuff with like catch chains and shiny hunting in this game that I wish they'd kept because it's a more enjoyable way to shiny hunt than riding circles on a bike, in my opinion.
Right. So this is the
except for when you're
Oddish
hunting
main.
Bulbasaurs, which.
And we're going to go back to Pikachu main, but Oddish is not going to go away. We're actually going to keep Oddish all the way to level 21. So remember when we said that keeping a Pokemon in your party is really bad because it gets a bunch of levels? We ignore that for Oddish because Oddish is actually just goated. It's such a good
pretty
Pokemon.
new, I'll be honest.
It's really good to keep it the whole time because it just... you always have a second controller for situational battle strats and also for catches, for bonus catches that may prop up. And it's a good backup if we don't get a Growlithe or an Abra. There's no Clefairy.
This game's been wait, that was just another full out
just another Chansey.
Oh no!
Oh
no!
Oh, that was a glowing Clefairy, which is amazing. Unfortunately,
I know, that's
does that play out like that? Sometimes that guy's.
You don't want to catch Zubat here because it evolves really quick.
I lured mine out really early. I forgot I lured super early. This is now pretty rough. I'm gonna be fine here, but I really want Clefairy now, and I cannot catch Geodude now. Onyx would also work. Take an Onyx. Yeah, I kind of played myself there by luring super early and not
so unfortunate.
Being prepared for that situation. I'm very lucky that Chansey gave me all the XP I needed. Just reset.
Should have got the second. Should have got the second Chansey.
It was glowing. I could have been
glowing.
Leaving here. If I catch an Onyx, I could ride it.
I feel like there was something else I was going to explain that I don't remember now. It probably wasn't important.
So yeah, the crummy thing here is I'm just barely not going to hit level 15 in time unless I catch one more thing. So
we need to level 15
really
because
want Clefairy or Mankey.
The entry requirement for Misty's gym is you have to be level 15. I guess we're catching Geodude.
I guess I'm catching Geodude.
Geodude has a reliable animation, which is nice. If it fights in that, if it
first cycle.
then when it's pulling its fist back, you throw and it works every time. Not a lot of Pokemon have reliable skills like that, so.
Yeah, so this fixes my XP problem, which is unfortunate. I didn't really want this. But it is what it is. It's going to get like 2 levels before I'm done with it, unfortunately. Because it's not worth it now.
You don't want to get level 13, I think, is when it learns Stealth Rock.
12.
12? That's close enough.
It probably learns something else before then, but it might instant learn it because it probably doesn't have all its move slots filled.
True. Instant learns like aren't a big deal.
Not a big deal, yeah. A lot less text and a lot faster because you don't have to prompt or do any inputs.
So, Chad, are you fans of the Dome fossil or the Helix fossil? That's it's a very important decision that has far-reaching implications that's going to come up very soon. And both of them are actually viable for the run. You can pick either one, but it does make a very big difference in about an hour and a half from now. That I'll make sure to point out.
I mean, I personally think that the only right decision is praise Helix.
Ammonite's like my second favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, so I'm on board.
You can pick your friends, you can pick your fossils, but you can't pick your friends' fossils.
Alright, well pick your own then.
Oh, I should have X-attacked here. No, I'm brave.
Yep.
No, this is correct. Never mind. God, I am plus attack nature. So you can situationally use an X attack on this fight to consistently win in 3 turns. Just if you have really bad attack. Yeah, there's an instant learn. I just learned by it immediately because it had move slots available. This Magnemite can be annoying because it has...
Magnemite, I love you.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Very unlucky. Non-plus attack. You saw the first kick was fine. The second kick was a lower roll, so it didn't kill. Alright, so
which one are you gonna pick?
Felix. Oh, that Clefairy that I left behind is gonna haunt me. That would have been huge for the run. Like,
that would have been so good.
Of the XP. But it is what it is. Just gotta keep pushing. You're gonna see, again, difference between like a top runner pushing for like a top time versus a newer runner is that I generally don't stop moving. You know, outside of like Route 10, really. That's the only place where I'm gonna actively like stop because it just takes time for things to spawn there.
If you wanted to stop moving, you'd be running AOP.
So this strat, I'm going to be using Thundershock. I'm going to try to get a 2-turn fight, which is not going to happen because that special
That's
attack
not looking good
enough. If I was level 15, if I caught that Clefairy, I definitely would be able to. So instead, I'm going to go for a 3-turn fight here.
Simply crit.
To help me get that. Ooh,
that's not even close.
Okay, that should be okay if I just T-Shock back into here.
Is it?
Yeah, because acid won't be spread damage at that point. Status
that's
lag.
true. So if you apply a status condition to something, the game's slower for whatever reason.
Yeah. So there's a chance that the animation
spread.
plays at a weird time while you're like after you've input a move and it causes you to lose like 5 seconds. So there's level 15. I need level 15 to enter Misty's gym, so it's very important that I get that. Otherwise, I have to go do things out of order, and I just don't do that. I avoid that.
You reset.
Yeah, because
unless you're in a marathon, you reset because
you
lose
like strats that I do. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
because I don't keep tail whip.
Oh yeah, it's technically rooted. Like the old route lets you do either, but you still lose like 30 seconds at least. So like it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, if I got a little bit of time.
Yeah, now's a good time.
We got plenty of time. We got nothing but time.
I just want to quickly remind chat why we're here. So we're raising money for Movember, a great charity for benefiting research towards men's mental health and suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. Prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men in the United States. Globally, more than 1.3 million men are diagnosed with prostate cancer each year. Across the country, there are more than 3 million men living with and beyond the disease. Many are dealing with serious side effects from treatment. It doesn't have to be like this, so we're taking action. Movember spent years immersed in prostate cancer research, and in that time, they've pushed progress forward 50 years. How? By thinking differently, collaborating globally, and investing quickly in what works. Be sure to hit that exclamation point donate button, chat, if you would like to donate towards the cause. See if we can get us up to at least $1,600 before the end of the night.
Okay, we could definitely do that. I'm 100% confident the chat can do that. And I'll say for every $5 that gets donated during this run, I will let you ask me how I pronounce a Pokemon's name, which is always very upsetting to people. So, we learned
he heard me
there.
slaughter Kyogre the other day.
Kyogre. Okay, kind of into that actually. So we learned a move there called Zippy Zap. This game has specific moves that only the starter partner Pokemon can learn. Pikachu, Eevees are all themed after the different evolutions, and Pikachus are all themed after like the different like themed Pikachus there are. Like there was like the surfing Pikachu, and there's like the flying Pikachu, and so they're all based off of that. I guess I don't know what Zippy Zap's actually themed after, but Zippy Zap is the only one that we're actually going to use. The other ones aren't really useful for the run. And what it does is it is a 50 power electric move that always crits, and it's +2 priority. So it's going to go before most moves in the game, always. It's very good. We use a lot. It's a physical move as well, which is good for this Pikachu that is jacked.
So Misty is a pretty straightforward fight. I'm just going to Zippy Zap twice here. If you have bad attack, this actually gets pretty scary. Because Misty just does a lot of damage to you and also can burn you. If I get burned, you have to heal at the center after the fight and you still have to win the fight. If I have really bad attack, what I'll do is I'll 2-control this fight and use Oddish to either double X attack myself or to use Absorb, just depending on the situation. But we had a guaranteed range there because we have amazing attack because of plus attack nature.
So yeah, that's a fight where like you could technically do it in 2 turns if you just do the 2-controller fight, but a 2-turn 2-controller fight is actually slower than a 3-turn 1-controller fight.
Yeah, it's effectively 4 turns at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the last gym leader we're going to fight for the next hour and a half.
Yeah, this so the first 2 gym leaders you kind of have to do to open up the story, and then after that you just don't have to do them for a while. So we're not going to do that because I feel like we can go back and do them later.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like it'll be easier if you just do it that way? That's how I feel.
Yeah, so for those who either don't remember or have forgotten just the way the original games work, they're very non-linear compared to most other Pokemon games. You don't have to do the gyms in any particular order besides like the first one in the original games and like the last 2 or the last one.
The last one.
Yeah. And in this game it's very similar. So our gym order is basically optimized to do Koga as late as possible because, again, the catch requirement just means that the more time we can buy, the better. And not doing any other gym leaders until we do a main switch for a much higher level Pokemon. Absorb is fine here because my attack is good enough to still kill. My attack so if you have a good attack, you can Zippy Zap this Eevee and that prevents you from getting quick attacked. I cannot do that. I'm going to have to double kick here.
Quick attack is also a +3 priority move, I believe. So since it's in a higher priority bracket than Zippy Zap, it will outspeed you, which is annoying.
Wait, quick attack? Or fake out?
Oh, quick attack's +2, isn't it?
Yeah, you outspeed quick attack, yeah.
Yeah, you don't outspeed fake out. That's what I'm thinking of. Fake out's +3, which is annoying.
It's super annoying. So this is actually a good application of one of the strat changes that I came up with. So basically the gist of what has happened with Eevee recently is that I did a bunch of reroutes when I was grinding for a good Eevee world record, which was a lot of mid-game adjustments to make it more like the Pikachu version. And then lately, when I started grinding Let's Go Pikachu, I made a lot of adjustments to make it more like the Eevee version in both early and mid-game. One of the results of that is just 2-controlling in random spots where you wouldn't really think of it being good. So right now my Pikachu has 4 HP and I really need to heal this at some point, otherwise I will die. I can menu to heal and then go into the next fight and then 2-shot the Sandshrew with Headbutt. Or I can just 2-controller that fight, heal myself with the Pikachu and then 1-shot with Oddish, and it's much more efficient that way.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Then you don't get poisoned, which saves time.
Yeah, this next fight is really stupid to 1-controller. Sometimes you have to go for it if you have good HP because it's just faster to just not get unlucky. But this thing has Sand Attack and what's the movie you just said? Poison Sting.
Poison Sting.
Poison, and that's super annoying. So if we can avoid it, then we should definitely do it.
Because you always want to heal off poison if it happens, even though you have to go to the menu just because it's so slow at the end of every turn.
Yeah, and status lag on top of that's pretty brutal.
And the reason why we have to heal this, even though in theory we're gonna one-shot everything for a while, is because the Meowth that we're gonna fight has Fake Out, which again is a +3 priority move. That one actually is +3. Chat, do not at me. And that will always go first. So.
Yeah, ideally we just don't see
you just lose a turn for it. Yeah, she won't always use it because she doesn't have I guess smart AI.
Yeah.
She just picks a move.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's random. Is it random?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it is 50-50.
Well, I do have a couple of donations for pronunciations. I'm putting them in chat for you so that you can try and pronounce them. But we have a $10 donation that says good luck on the run, another $5 donation for pronounce this name, which I'll let you do, and another $5 donation with no comment.
Pumpkaboo. So, the reason why people donated for me to say Pumpkaboo is that I have a TikTok where I pretend to be really, really, really bad at Pokemon. And so for Halloween, I made a spooky team, and all 6 of the spooky team members were just Pumpkaboo, and so it would just be being like, so for my first on the team, I decided I'm picking Pumpkaboo. Second, I think that you should use Pumpkaboo. Third, I like Pumpkaboo. He has like fangs, and I think that's really scary. Fourth, I picked Pumpkaboo. And now everyone likes the way I say Pumpkaboo, so I just do it a lot now when Etchy's in the bathroom. If you follow Swiftaloo as well, because that's just all we do now.
So this fight can be annoying. There's a coughing. It can poison you with smog. Don't want to see that. I have 2 options here, depending on my attack. I can either headbutt it, try to get a flinch. Headbutt is a 30% chance to flinch. Or I can go for a zippy zap kill. In this case, I have a 5 out of 16 chance to actually get that one shot, so we're going to go for it, and... No.
Dang.
Did not get poisoned, though. Very lucky. Smog is quite likely to poison you. You want to explain why it's out of 16 chance to kill something?
Right. So the Pokemon damage formula is a very complicated nightmare that I don't recommend really looking into that much unless you like really are interested in it, because it'll drive you crazy. But essentially, it does a bunch of math, and it applies a bunch of multipliers, and that's how much damage you do. And one of the multipliers is the randomization factor, which is a random number from 85 to 100, which is essentially... Oh, you hit that one!
That's a new one.
Okay,
yeah.
so...
I've never hit this person before.
Quick aside, there's a trainer skip you can do there, because all the trainers have extremely laser point line of sight vision, but they just see directly ahead of them. So you can just walk in between these 2 trainers. But despite being the second best Let's Go Pikachu player in the world, and have granted it recently, Etchy's washed, so he hit this trainer. This is like the easiest skip. Second easiest skip.
I'll get the other one, don't worry. I'll get the harder one.
I thought you were going to say you're not going to hit the second trainer here, and I hope not.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so... Yeah, so the game rolls essentially a 16-sided die, and it uses that to determine how much damage you're going to do. So for each attack you do, there are 16 concrete values of damage that it can deal. So whenever something isn't necessarily going to get a kill, we call it a range, and that is some fraction of 16 of those rolls are enough to deal enough damage to get the kill.
Yeah, and I just want to also say in my defense again, I am using a Joy-Con.
So is everybody else who plays this game.
It's very easy to just accidentally slip on the Joy-Con.
What you should have just said is, oops, drift. Should have just been like, oops, drift.
That wasn't drift. That was literally just me whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, nobody knows that though. Nobody knows that.
No, it's okay. I take responsibility for my actions.
Okay, I respect that.
So here's Bill. Or sorry, Anita Reno.
There's a category extension called Ditch Bill. And what you do is you get all the way to here, and then you, instead of freeing Bill from his Nidorino flesh prison, you just leave. And the reason, you can't actually progress with the game if you do that, you have to go back and free him. The reason why this is a category extension is because it became a meme category after a bunch of runners kept forgetting to talk to the computer to free Bill and leaving. My favorite instance of this is what story I always like to tell, is I was doing a diploma race where it was me and Retroid versus Jim Freak and Joker. And Joker was like, watch, I'm gonna forget to go to Bill. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna ditch Bill. And then 5 minutes later we just hear, guys, crap, I have to walk back. Which is why which was such a negative time loss for that side that my side still lost by about 15 minutes because they got way better luck than we did.
So yeah, Bill gives us SSN tickets, which means we can now leave town. So we're gonna go do that. Yeah, I would have liked to catch one of those, but unlucky.
Some of the 16 values can be identical, that is true, but there are always 16 different 16 values that it can be.
16
they're not necessarily unique values, but they are 16 slots, exactly, yeah?
All right, so we're starting to get to the intense gauntlet part of the run, which is basically I have to catch a lot of stuff in the next 30 minutes in particular, and then it's a lot of fights, and then it's a lot more catching. But this section is very heavy on catching. I'm about to go to Route 6. I can get a couple different things there. I can get a Psyduck, I can get a Pidgey, I can get a Jigglypuff. I really, really want a Growlithe. One of my reroutes was to make it so that if I don't get a Growlithe, the run's just not dead. Because otherwise, if you're going for a top time, the run is dead if you do not get a Growlithe. So if I don't get a Growlithe, I can do auto strats. It's a little scary with this Oddish in particular because the speed is pretty bad, but it's better than resetting or dying. So
we're gonna walk for a bit. There's a cutscene coming up that is called The Kiss. You'll see why in a second, and then. But other than that, you can read a couple donations, I think.
Okay, yeah, I definitely have some news here. So we have a $25 donation from Decaf Dev that says, "Good luck, Etchy. We have officially hit $1,603.17, chat. Let's go. Woo! Let's see if we can keep that going to $1,700 before the end of the night.
Let's see it. You can donate for Pokemon cries. You can donate for saying words out loud. You can donate to just ask us questions.
Yeah, if you
We're
want
your
me
puppets for money.
Just tell me. I don't care. I'll do whatever for money.
Yeah, we have no shame. If anyone if you haven't watched either of us on stream before, you should know this already. But if you don't, now you do.
Ever since Etchy got YouTube partner, he's changed.
Yeah, you're such a big shot now.
I'll even read out the Frog King's title again for a good donation or two.
I have sung because of donation incentives before. That's happened many times. Like, you could just name it. We pick up a nugget here.
I'm gonna sell that later. There's a lot of items in this underground, but a lot of them are randomized. But sometimes you can get like a free nugget. I'm not gonna risk it or worry about it. And I'm gonna get this lure, and I'm gonna pop it immediately. The reason I pop this now is I will now have a chance. The lure will run out before I buy more lures, and then the prompt for it running out is faster if I do not have more lures in my inventory. Here's one of the strats I came up with that just makes the run a lot cleaner later on, and it's more useful in this version than it is in EV version. Picking up this rare candy, which we used to pick up in the very early days of this run, and then we started skipping it for a very long time. Ooh, 2 dogs.
Get a load of those dogs.
I don't want to fight both dogs, but...
Get a load of those dogs.
And I'll
Look
explain
at those dogs.
And I'm going to actually catch that glowing Rattata. What I really want here is... So right now, Growlithe is level 17. I really want it to hit level 18 before I fight a Gloom later, because it makes the range much, much more likely to be guaranteed. Otherwise, it's actually a pretty terrible range, and I'm just going to lose a lot of time if I don't have that.
Fun fact about Growlithe.
You want to catch it first, always.
It's the only dog I'm not afraid of. Not Arcanine. Arcanine terrifies me, but...
there's a rat. I would still like a Jigglypuff here. Pidgey too, but not as important. One early. Even someone like me who's ran this game a lot, it's still pretty easy to like mistime things because there's delay between like your action and when the actual ball comes out, and sometimes it's just not what you expect it to be. It seems to be based on like the speed, but not always.
Sometimes it takes a second for the game to remember that you have Joy-Cons, so it's like weirdly delayed. Like the fact that it's motion controls just means there's like a little bit of there's just like a little bit of inconsistency that's sort of inherent to it that you're never really gonna get past. I feel you always want a YOLO ball.
I'm not gonna go back for it. We'll just get a Pidgey later.
Coming up next is the second trainer skip in the game, which is both. There are no they didn't want these to be like a doubles battle, because there aren't really. Like, there are no doubles battles other than the Force Jesse James doubles. So, essentially, they both have 2 tiles of vision in front of them. And if you just line up right down the middle, you get right between their 2 vision and they can't see you.
The lore running out there.
That was
freaked
like
me out.
that was like a weirdly good time to run out, but it was also freaky as heck.
So here I'm gonna sell the nuggets. I'm unfortunately gonna sell Lord Helix here.
No, our boy.
I'm gonna try to adjust the shopping on the fly. Hopefully I do it correctly. I'm gonna buy 9
That sounds
breakables because buying 10 gives you an extra Premier Ball, which is time loss, and we don't need it. Do that. I hope I can do math correctly. I'm pretty sure this is right. I thought about this route adjustment during my run this morning. I didn't actually write it down.
We buy 1 repel that might not get used. We'll see later. It's for what we call the repel trick.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll just pop the repel if I still have it, just to get some safety at the very end of the run, or in rock tunnel situationally I'll use it. It just depends. But there's a lot of utility in having that repel, which is why I pretty much always buy it. It's definitely
really nice to have.
more useful in this than Eevee, just because of like it's a lot nicer to get a Nidoran on Route 10, and not getting one kind of sucks.
Trust a Pikachu like a sailor. That's a
Gotta
Pikachu like a
get more money
sailor.
for that, sorry.
Yeah. Somebody donate $50 so that actually can dress up Pikachu like a sailor.
$50, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I
So
want
what do we got now?
to see it happen. We're at 1603.17.
Okay. So that plus 50, and I'll put the sailor outfit on Pika.
But it has to be one person who does it, is what I said. Somebody donates $50. and we'll do it.
You're very picky about this. Wow.
Yeah. If everyone donates $50 combined, you'll put on the hat. If everyone donates $100 combined, you'll do both parts.
If everyone in the world donated $1 right now,
It's true.
I could put on
You can make a
2
difference.
sailor hats. See, I'm going to swap Growlithe to slot 2 here. It's very useful. So there's a couple reasons why Growlithe is really good. One, it has Flamethrower already, which is a very powerful move. And it gets the same type of attack bonus because it's a fire-type Pokemon. So it's 50% boost on top of just being really high power. And it also has Helping Hand, which is really good when you can always force double battles. Helping Hand basically functions as just a damage boost to whatever Pokemon you use it on. So I'm going to boost my own Pikachu
50%.
using Helping Hand.
Etchy, you should get
this fight
yourself
used to
a
be-
real life. Get yourself a real life sailor uniform to put on for this.
I need a real-life Sailor Moon uniform, and then I'd be set.
There you go. This fight used to be really, really awful on Eevee. Because you used to one controller and it sucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was always really easy on Pikachu because just two controller it and it's like whatever. You just get a load of that dog and it's like a free fight.
Yeah, and that's another kind of adjustment as a result of a lot of like the reroute stuff I looked into. This is actually a really big deal in the Eevee version because once the 2 controller stuff got worked out, you can actually have a very interesting effect on like the shop routing. Basically like cutting out X speeds completely until way later, which has a lot of benefits to it.
Back in the day, you could not use the second controller if you ran this game. For whatever reason, that was the rule set that they decided on, which made a lot of people upset and is generally considered to have been a bad idea.
Yeah,
Because it makes the game like way worse as a speedrun.
Yeah, so for reference, I've gotten 0 breakouts this run. If I did 1 controller... Oh, no, I got 1 breakout. I got the Canopy breakout, which was a 1 controller cap. If I won't build everything, I'd have probably 8 more breakouts.
Yeah, just a way better run with 2 controller.
Yeah. Just much more consistent, much less BS.
The routing's more interesting too, because there's just more decisions that you have to make.
One side of note is that there are times where it's better to 1 controller things if I feel confident that I'll get it in first ball, because the animation's a lot faster, and I also don't have to worry about summoning or unsummoning my support trainer. So there's a lot of like...
Because there's a 1 controller bonus that you can get called the like... I don't remember what it's called. There's a different bonus you can get.
Bonus thing.
That's not what it is.
You sure?
Yeah.
Look it
There's a
up.
cutscene. We can actually skip it. You don't get to watch the sailing ships sail away. Sorry, everyone.
It's really easy to skip and just see a black screen the whole time. Unluckily, we saw a little bit.
Sometimes
of
you get the 1 frame of cutscene. So after this is the trainer skip part 2, where we do it again, but in reverse. It's actually much easier to do backwards because you have a better visual cue for it.
I messed it up more going up than down.
How?
I don't know.
It's so easy to go backwards. You just hold up.
That's hard.
Cardio. I think it's so much harder going down. I feel like it's easier to. So like you have more of a runway to see like where you're moving because they're like in your field of view because of the camera angle, and you have a visual cue. It's just way better. Up next is going to be a bunch of doubles fights on Route 9, but before that, we have to walk there, so it might be a good time for a donation or two.
All right, with that, let me go ahead and refresh the page, see what's coming in that's brand new. Nothing new quite yet, so let me just quickly remind people what we're here for. We're here to donate for the Movember charity. They're hiding under each other. All proceeds are going directly to the Movember Foundation, benefiting research towards men's mental health and suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. Since 2003, Movember has funded more than 1,250 men's health projects around the world, challenging the status quo, shaking up men's health research, and transforming the way that we do health services and support men.
And again, $50, and we all had that sailor outfit on the Pika.
So, the EV part of this fight is not really the problem. The Gloom is, like, for whatever reason, is like the worst Pokemon for Pikachu. Gloom walls Pikachu so hard.
Yeah.
Just has no good moves against it. So it's a thing that, like...
Which does mean nothing to it.
Nothing. Yeah, so every time you see a Gloom, guess what? It's a 2-controller fight.
Yep. One thing to note too, and this is also why, again, very important that I hit level 18 right here and why I caught what I caught. Rattata is technically optimal to catch later, but I had to get the levels up now. I needed the XP as soon as possible.
This is new. This is your new thing, right?
No, this is basically the same.
What? Why do you need level 18?
Because
to guarantee the
level 17.
You just hit the range.
It's a bad range.
You just hit the range.
Use Oddish on this fight, but didn't need to do that because I had to Growlithe.
Yeah. So you just hit the range. If you don't hit the range, you go, wow, this dog sucks. That's what I do.
It's time loss. I mean, I would still use level 17 Growlithe, but if you don't get a Growlithe, I would use a Oddish. So I'm going to menu after this fight. I'm going to lure. I'm going to get rid of the Growlithe for now. Might want to pull it back later, depending on how Rock Tunnel goes. But this is going to be very similar. Again, Sandshrew, hard for Pikachu to kill, but easy for Growlithe to kill with Flamethrower. If you had an Abra that evolved into a Abra, you could use that for these fights instead, and it's actually really, really good. But Abra's super rare.
Yeah. You want to lure ahead of time before you actually get to the route, because if something has spawned before the lure is up, it is not considered lured. So, and things can spawn off screen, so you can get to places and be like, well, I sure do hope that that's actually lured, and it's not necessarily lured. Ooh.
If my attack wasn't good, I would have had to double kick there, which is really scary because my health is really low. I zippy zapped on purpose because there's a chance I just died, which doesn't matter because I get a free heal after this. But I needed to get my attack off, otherwise I.
It just means you don't get it. It just means you miss out on some experience.
Yeah. I'm also getting rid of the.
Well, no, it would matter because you're only level 20, so you wouldn't have Thunderbolt.
Lore. I'm gonna go up here. So I have to kind of not screw up these spinner passes. I'm gonna play this one super safe.
You've been burned. You've been burned this week on that one, so that's fair.
True, but that one I YOLO'd on.
I'm always a coward about her.
Okay, so what I'm looking for specifically here is one of Nidoran female or Nidoran male. Nidoran male is technically better, but not really that much.
Like 30 seconds better.
No, it's not. I changed it. I rerouted stuff.
Changed it? Alright, well.
Yeah, so Nidoran female is actually
it used to be like 30, 40 seconds better.
Yeah, now, honestly, they're about the same. I think it's, on average, one turn slower to have a Nidoran female. Which is a pretty big step up from the past.
Yeah, it used to be a lot slower with the old strat.
Because a lot of my routes were just like trying to make it so that your run just didn't tank if you lost out on a Pokemon. Because that's not a problem in the EV version. And this is one of those things. And even if I got no Nidorans, I technically would be fine. I do have backup strats for no Nidorans. And the reason why Nidorans are good is because they can evolve all the way to Nido Queen or King, and they also have Helping Hand. And some
do you find it funny that, like, your run could totally tank if you didn't get a certain Pokemon in this game, and yet a lot of people still find Pikachu to be, like, the more enjoyable game to run?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I didn't like running the game before. That's the whole reason I didn't like it.
No.
It's like poopier Eevee. But now it's better.
Like, you made it all reliable, and now it's like, what's even the point anymore? I'm like, I can't run this game anymore because it's reliable, and I can't run reliable games.
For those curious right now, the Pika world record is 12 seconds faster than my Eevee world record, held by Kerbis54. Ooh, that's really good. What me and a lot of top other runners believe is that Pikachu is a much more consistent run for getting like 301, but Eevee top end is just a lot better. It's just much harder to get it. So in theory, Eevee has an easier time getting 300 or better, whereas Pikachu 301 seems more reliable.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. If it's so much better, how has no one done it?
Because you need a really good Eevee and then a really good Starmie. There's a couple of reasons why the Eevee version can have such a nice top end. Part of it is Eevee getting a psychic move, which is really, really good.
Yeah, having a psychic move is pretty sick. That is true.
And then also,
you can just do Kadabra Hideout.
Versus the Jolteon actually matters because Jolteon's much bulkier. Whereas you can do some pretty nasty stuff against a Raichu if you have a really good Starmie. So there's Nidorina. I'm going to want to deposit pretty soon here because Nidoran male is not in my party. Should I just do Nidoqueen this run? I could just do Nidoqueen.
Show it off?
Fun. Sure.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Put your mouth where your money is. No,
sure.
Other way.
I also haven't done Nidoran female in a run in like a week because I just keep getting Nidoran male. Like I spend so much effort routing backups.
It's not that common that you have to do Nidoqueen, honestly.
Yeah. That's basically all I really need here. I got a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna get out.
So now we get to say hi to our good friend and the best Elite Four member, Lorelei. And all these grunts are like, ha ha ha, we're gonna do crime. And then Lorelei shows up, and then you fight them, and then they're like, wow, why are you so strong? And she's like, I work for the Elite Four, you fools. And they're like, oh no, what have we done? And they run away. I don't know why I explained that in such detail compared to literally anything else that's happened in this game. I just like this cutscene.
It's a good cutscene.
I like Lorelei's design
specifically to avoid taking damage. It's not as necessary to avoid taking damage with some different strat stuff, but the next, not the next fight, but the fight after that can be pretty scary if you're not careful. So I'm just going to do an X special and a Thunderbolt and just win easily.
You already have the support trainer anyway, so like...
Exactly, yeah. I think that gives me Gloom. It looks pretty close there.
What's your catch count at?
21. It's about to be 22.
Not bad.
For, again, so... I didn't really mention this, but I use a program to track my catches. If you watch any of my PBs or my streams, you'll see the catch tracker on it. And that's how I keep track of how I'm kind of pacing with my catch route. Catch route decision making is very tricky until you like get better at it, and then as you get better at the game, it becomes harder again because you have to start making really tough decisions during runs as you try to go faster and faster.
Are the left numbers yours?
Oh, you're looking at my OBS. The right numbers.
Yeah, okay, never mind. That's not as good then. That's less good.
Yeah, I mean, again, this very hard to PB when I spend like 30 seconds.
It's a marathon. It's a marathon run. It's a marathon run where you hit an optional. Like
that too, but I mean, I was already like a minute behind at that point because of marathon stuff. But it's
like this is one of the more variant runs, just in terms of like, it's probably the most variant second most variant Pokemon speedrun outside of battles. It's not like there's some real random runs, right? Like Pokemon, it's like all Pokemon games. There's a lot of variance and randomness in it, but there's a lot in this game. But it's interesting because like it's a numbers game, but it's a numbers game where your runs don't necessarily die early in a lot of ways because you're not going to really
games that you can actually like play the game a lot. You can get to like the 1 hour mark very often because it's really easy to like redeem bad runs through
whereas like
things happening later.
Games like Hollow or Oras or Fire Red Leaf Green, where it's like, well, my run's dead because I'm dead.
Yeah. Oh, this is really random, but I just remembered when I was talking about consistency between Pika and Eevee. It's like 20% more likely to get a runnable Pika versus a runnable Eevee.
So that's part of the reason why Pika's better.
That's another reason why this is like a more enjoyable version to grind and why I've grown to like it a lot more. It doesn't help.
Yeah, see?
It's not better.
See? Isn't it better? You like Let's Go Pikachu, don't you, Etchy? Get that.
I should have come.
The Rhyhorn.
What I want, because I was hoping that this Slowpoke will give me the level up on Spearow, and then I can do a mass deposit.
That's fair.
Although, it doesn't really matter, because even if it does, I have to menu again for the Rhyhorn.
Well, I mean, you could catch Rhyhorn then menu.
Level up, so I have to catch it, so. Yeah. Rhyhorn's really good. So Rhyhorn's our first ride Pokemon of the run. You want to explain ride Pokemon?
Right. Oh yeah. So I did a lot of the research into like figuring out different ride strats that nobody does. There are different classifications of ride speed. In the Overland, there are essentially two ones that we're really concerned with. There's this middle tier, which is a Pokemon like Rhyhorn and some other ones that don't matter. And then there's a high tier, which is Growlithe, Arcanine, Persian, and Rapidash. So we use Rhyhorn, which is 1.5 times faster than walking, until we get either Arcanine or Rapidash, depending on what strats you do, and I know which ones you do, and they disappoint me. At which pace we get Arcanine, or Rapidash, which is another 1.5 times faster, so you're moving 2.25 times as fast as walking. There are also ride Pokemon that work in the water that make water faster. We don't use any of them because you're not in the water that much.
And that's another point
I did a bunch of
for Pikachu version is that if you don't get a Rhyhorn here, all you do is you get the Firestone after the tower, and then you just
wait. You need Nidoqueen. Well, this is a Nidoran run now. You just get the Firestone, and then you use Arcanine as your ride Pokemon. Whereas in Eevee, if you don't get a Rhyhorn, you lose 40 seconds. Now, what you could also do, if you want a PB and stuff instead, is you can get the Arcanine anyways, and then make it your ride Pokemon immediately, and then not have to rare candy your Rapidash because you have the Arcanine instead, and it roughly breaks even, and then you get an extra catch, which is a strategy that I did a lot of timing for, and only me and Gym Freak do. I also looked into a strategy called Early Persian, which is bad, and you should not do it. But I really, really, really want it to be good. Problem is that you don't actually walk as much in this game as you think you do.
Ooh, I could have taken that Graveler.
You'll find another one. Graveler's so common.
That's not a Cubone.
That's a
I'm being blocked here. Okay.
Hitboxes and Rock Tomb are really fun. Rock Tunnel are really fun.
Tomb.
I've just been on it with the words.
Called Rock Tomb, huh?
Because it's not a tomb. I've been really on it with the words today between Rock Tomb and Growlithe. Growlithe is my favorite Celeste character. One shot.
Not even close.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
and you're level 25, you can also go for X attack double kick. And I actually got that in my run earlier today. I got that kill.
Oh yeah, right, you should be level 25. Your attack's good, but you're not level 25. We're at the point where like
A lot of
that sucks.
Was I level 25?
We're at the point.
24 this morning.
You're level 24. You were 24.
No, this morning.
Oh, this morning. We're at the point where having that really good attack doesn't really matter anymore. We're gonna be using Thunderbolt for pretty much everything, as it is a very good move. Oh, I said you're gonna find another Graveler. I lied.
Apparently.
We fight this hiker with 2 controller because of the right horn, which is a Pokemon that Pikachu struggles against really badly.
Which you'll see again later as well.
Yeah.
So we're gonna use Helping Hand to help deal with the Rhyhorn. It doesn't matter that the Nidoran's not evolved yet. We can do that later. It just needs to be evolved before I fight Rival. This HP is also fine. I can just go for 1 controller on the next fight. Just don't get unlucky. So yeah, if you look at Nidoran's moveset, the main things are just Helping Hand and Poison Jab. Poison Jab is an 80 power poison move, which is pretty useful.
Very useful.
One of them is the fact that there are fairy types in this game, which is newer, because the original games did not have fairy types. And Poison is very good against them, and you're going to see it a couple times.
First Kanto game with fairy types.
Yeah. That is the one turn that you lose on average compared to Nidoqueen strats. Because you can't, because if you have Nidoqueen, you just have to two-turn it with Pikachu.
Which means you can see Metronome. You should do that for the fans. The last time that Etchy ran this game for Velocity, Metronomes, by the way, is a move that can use almost any other move in the game picked at random. And last time Etchy ran this game, it picked Horn Drill, which is a move that has a 30% chance to roughly to just kill you no matter what, but it missed.
That was great. I have actually died to Metronome Explosion, though. That happened a few days ago.
That's a good one.
Like a week ago, yeah, that was pretty fun. Remember when you said there'd be another Graveler?
I told you I lied. I already mentioned that I lied.
Oh, that's a really clutch Cubone.
Remember when you were going to remember when you were gonna catch Geodude here instead?
Those were the days.
You want to catch so it's technically optimal to not catch Cubone here and to instead catch it in Pokemon Tower, but it's very rare in Pokemon Tower, so you don't want to rely on that.
See how we're doing party-wise here. We can get rid of Golbat. I can put in Cubone. So this is one of the awkward things where I'm like suffering from success here, because I have Krabby, Machop, and Cubone now. All of them require 4 level ups to get to their evolution at level 28, and I cannot keep all 3 of my party. So I'm actually just going to leave Cubone alone. It's going to stay in the box, and I will withdraw it at a later point.
Got 2 quick seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to quickly let people know that I'm going to be headed out for the night. Thank you so much for having me as a host. Sanjan's going to be taking over hosting duties for the rest of the run.
Awesome. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Sandra's gonna hang out with us.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Don't mind me. I'm here for the show.
Wait, now we have 2 ORAS runners, active ORAS runners to bully Etchy.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
All right. You know
Yeah,
what?
I run Omega Ruby though.
It's time.
That's fine. That's still ORAS.
I have
Onyx for the
Ultra Balls now.
fans.
We're gonna do some Onyx for the fans.
Onyx is really annoying here. It's not bad in Mount Moon, but sucks here.
Nice. That's really good.
Anytime like the ring is super high up, it's like really hard to get it to actually go there.
Nice
it's really frustrating.
You can really ask for with it.
Can't wait for you to use all your Ultra Balls in this stupid Onyx. Oh, it's about to run away.
It's about to run away if it does not get in here. This is the real reason I went for this is to make up for the Graveler. That's unfortunate.
Womp. So if it it's probably got another throw in. If it doesn't attack and the ring is still visible when it does the attack, it means it's about to run away.
There you go. Okay.
Nice. I can't believe that worked out after
losing 3 Ultra Balls, which is pretty bad.
It's pretty not good. It's fine. You just grab the cringe hideout Ultra Balls.
And I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
You can ride the Onyx. That's an option you can have. Onyx is in the...
You know what, here. I'm going to need Arena back out.
Onyx is in the category you want Cubone.
No, it's fine. Oh, do Cubone later.
Oh. Onyx is in the classification of ride Pokemon that is no faster than walking. And makes your hitbox really big. It's great.
I think Astros should heal now. Yeah, if I'm doing Nido, I acted for like Nido King strats earlier. Like this is technically probably fine, but just for safety. Well, we'll do that. So yeah, there's our Nidoqueen. We're gonna do Nidoqueen strats this time. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yo, Nidoqueen strats? What's the difference between Nidoqueen and using Nidoking?
Basically I'm gonna be trading turns back and forth between them, so like, I'm gonna lose one double turn on the rival fight here with Nidoqueen, and I'm gonna lose a turn on the Clefairy, but I am much more likely to save a double turn on the Hypno. That happens later. And I don't lose any other turns besides that. Because the reason why the Hypno is more consistent with Nidoqueen is because I have Crunch on Nidoqueen. So I just naturally do a lot more damage. The attack threshold's a lot lower. Whereas for Nidoking, if you want to one-shot with X attack, Poison Jab, you need really high attack. And maybe we'll get Metronome Explosion, who knows?
Heck yeah!
Ooh.
You're gonna get, let me guess. You're gonna get... I think of Gen 1 moves. Hold on.
Zap Cannon?
I think you can get Blizzarded.
Blizzarded? Blizzaga?
Blizzaga, yeah.
Okay.
Take that.
Yeah.
It's over. Take that. It's over. It's over. Take that.
So yeah, this is where we're gonna kind of enter now that we're done with Rock Tunnel, we enter kind of like a fight gauntlet here. So I'm gonna fight our rival, and then we're gonna go straight to Rocket Hideout. And this is because we're kind of like rushing through to get there. We're actually really under leveled at this point in the run, but it works out because the sooner we do this, the sooner we get Surf, and the sooner we get Surf, the sooner we can main switch to a much higher level Pokemon. Pokemon Trainer Chicago. So this fight changed recently as well as part of my reroutes. You used to use Tail Whip here, but I get rid of Tail Whip to keep Headbutt instead. One of the nice benefits of Nidoqueen strats is that you never have to worry about not killing this Pidgeotto, which has happened to me many times lately, because you always X-attack Pika. And we're actually going to use Pika to kill Gloom and Jolteon here. We're just not even going to bother with our crunching Nidoqueen, because you can't win the fight faster even if you do. So ideally I get... I had to potion this turn, yeah. Okay, I should have healed here. That makes more sense. My attack's good. If you have really bad attack, you want to X-attack early. But if you X-attack early when you have good attack, you're going to knock it into heal range, which is why I couldn't X-attack there. And I got the flinch, which is really cool. Old strats would take the same amount of turns, but you're less likely for things to go bad because you have the flinch chance now. Then here, I will just headbutt Helping Hand. And we win the fight. So yeah, I lose 2 turns there. Poison Jab with Nidoking can actually 3-turn that fight. Because Poison Jab's just that much stronger. If Nidoqueen had a stab move, it'd be a lot cleaner. Or learn Thrash the way Nidoking does. I spent a lot of time looking to Thrash strats for Nidoking because on Evolution it learns Thrash.
Which is nice because if
turn move, and that means you don't take nerve again. It's really fast sometimes.
My favorite Thrash strat is to accidentally teach it over Helping Hand.
It's a good one.
It's a really good one that I recommend.
Have you done that?
Yes. I think I PB'd with that once. No, I surely didn't. I think that run died.
You can do what I did on my PB, which is accidentally say yes to learning Thrash and then not committing to learning it like a coward and losing 5 seconds as a result. If I had just learned Thrash, I wouldn't have lost time because it's like actually...
True co-op world record does it though. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Or does something similar. Oh no, it teaches over Zippy Zap, I think. That's what True Co-op does. World record does teaches over Zippy Zap.
Alright, so now Jesse and James have kidnapped the Cubone here. We're going to go rescue it at the Rocket Hideout and sell it on the city. I could see an Abra here, which would be pretty sick. But first we have to fight a Metronomical Fable. Eevee always has to deal with Metronome. There's not really anything you can do about it outside of 2 controlling, which is slow. And
I'm gonna say, sorry, go ahead.
But I have to do this. So.
I was gonna say if Metronome kills you, I'll donate $250.
Lovely Kiss, not great. And Status Lag.
Sludge.
Okay, Poison is good.
Interesting combination.
See, this grass is where you would get the Firestone for Arcanine. Yep.
Do we have a moment to talk about,
Yeah, we do. We're running through it underground.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we are raising money for the Movember Foundation. So the Movember so all proceeds all donations will go directly to the Movember Foundation, which benefits men's mental health and suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. Since 2003, Movember has funded more than 1,250 men's health projects around the world, challenging the status quo, shaking up men's health research, and transforming the way health services reach and support men. Your donations are greatly appreciated. These people are real. This charity is really good. Sorry, I can't. I apparently can't English today.
No, I get that. I've misspoke like every other word that I've said.
You're definitely doing
today
better than
wrong.
me. Don't worry. Do you want to explain what just happened, May?
So this is a mechanic called Synchronize. It's like unique to this game, and you can pay $10,000 until the calendar day rolls over. All the natures of everything you catch will be set to a certain thing. So we set it to always be modest, which means that when we catch a star meat, spoiler alert, that we're going to use for the end of the run, it will always be plus special attack minus attack, which is really good because we're only going to be using special moves on it because it's a special attacker. It's the best possible nature for it.
I wasn't technically supposed to 2-controller this, but it's fine. Actually, this is probably just better. There's no way this is actually bad. Yeah. No, that's just... Okay, I need to fix my notes. That's right. That's actually just the correct strat. Cool. Yeah, I love learning things on the fly here. I haven't done Nidoqueen in like a week and a half, so that's why I haven't like tested a lot of things with the notes. But this is definitely the optimal strat. Nidoking fight is very similar, except you use Poison Jab and just double kick, and then you kill. You can't do that with Nidoking because Crunch does not do as much as Poison Jab. But yeah, here's where on average you're gonna save time this next fight, because you need a really good Nidoking to one-shot at +2, whereas you just need an average Nidoqueen to have a really good chance to one-shot at +2. I have not been able to one-shot this in a really long time because I've gotten really bad Nidokings, so hopefully that changes. And I think we still have $50 more to get the Sailor outfit on Pikachu. We're running out of time on Pikachu. We're swapping
Sailor
off.
outfit for 1650?
Ooh, didn't get the range. Really unlucky. I'll instead take this opportunity to heal up a little bit. I think it was around 1650, right?
1653 is the hat threshold.
Oops. Yeah,
I had
unfortunately,
canon of
that's
something
right.
in Let's Go. Oh, I can get yeah. I can write fan fiction on the fly about Let's Go.
So here's the other change that makes it so that Nidoqueen is not as bad. Is instead of what you would do with Nidoking is you swap it up, I do that swap menu here, and I'm actually going to swap up a Rhyhorn. We're going to win this fight with Rhyhorn. The reason why Rhyhorn's good here is, one, you don't worry about it taking damage, so you don't have to worry about healing it up or anything, so you just prevent damage on your other two pokes. And two, it can 2-turn this fight, or 3-turn this fight by just hitting drill runs. If you're high enough level, you can do Stomp Drill Run, so you don't risk the miss chance. But it's a little risky if you don't know your stats. And then he sends out a Voltorb, so you just Drill Run it and then it dies. Drill Run is very powerful. Which is one of the reasons why one of my EV reroutes involved using Rhyhorn to save time on level 4, because Drill Run is just that good.
So up next,
in slot 2. I'll have to menu now then.
yeah. So up next is a strategy that is very cool, which is they're essentially going to abuse the trainer AI of Jesse and James to make it so that we don't just get murdered, and we're able to get through that fight a lot more consistently than we would otherwise. So I'll explain. So that's why we're putting a fairy in that slot. I'll explain it more when we get there, because before that we have to go commit OSHA violations.
Yeah.
Actually, I can explain it now. There's this fight. So essentially, the way that this game works is it does what's called a pre-roll, whatever it is going to pick a move. But the pre-roll, you do this with two controller,
Yeah.
Oh.
Much more consistent.
Yeah, I guess. It does what's called a pre-roll, which essentially it goes through its moves and it tries to use them until it finds one, and that will kill. And if it kills, it picks and otherwise it picks the one that it thinks is going to be the most effective. And so when we fight Jesse and James, they always have a Weezing and an Arbok, which are both poison types, which is super effective against fairy. So by putting a fairy in slot 2, one of them will always attack that because it'll go for the kill. And that means they're not just going to both. If you don't do that, there's a chance that they'll both attack Pikachu and the Pikachu will just die.
Yeah.
That gives us one extra turn to set up, which is all we need to make the strategy actually work. For this cutscene, we're trying to get to this vent because the guard threw the key up over the vents.
An event?
So we find the only unsafe thing in the room to stand on. I'm talking over you on purpose. We find the only unsafe thing in the room to stand on, which is that rolly chair.
Yeah.
Yo, Pikachu's strutting.
She's strutting. She's
strutting.
working.
She's strutting.
If you stutter step correctly, you just kind of like float along, and it's pretty funny. I just couldn't do it. I'm bad at video games.
You're so washed.
Washed. Also never
Washed.
practiced it. So this is
Okay, why would
the
you?
bad part of the run now in terms of fights. These next 6 fights, I guess, but 2 of them are really free. Especially these next 3 fights are very stupid. The last one's consistent as long as you don't get trolled. But Jesse and
Which is
James
another
are
way of
very
saying
annoying for both
inconsistent.
routes, for Eevee and Pikachu, because it's you can just save a lot of time on both fights if you just have good stats, which I do not have
Yeah.
good stats.
Nope. You have a good stat, but it's not the right one for this
Yeah.
fight.
This is where plus special attack actually starts making a really big difference. So
Yeah. You save 2 turn on this fight and a turn on the next fight, which is really good. Or the next Jesse and James fight.
yeah, and that's a double turn, so it adds up. It's
Yeah,
significant.
it's a lot. It's a lot. It's really significant.
Do we have a
Cause,
moment for... Sorry, you can go
Yes.
ahead.
No, do it.
Okay, so just a moment for a quick donation. We have a $50 donation from Kekumi
Clothes.
that says, let's sail our Pikachu away, so
Crud.
it's time, Etchy.
I wish I could have done it before the fight. I'll do it right after. There's still a few Pika fights left. So let's do it. Heck yeah. Thank you for the donation.
Thank
Thanks very
you.
much.
This is the fight that I was trying to explain before. That's where the reason we put the Sailor on. It's going to do that pre-roll. The interesting thing about the pre-roll is that the pre-roll isn't necessarily the amount of damage that the attack is actually going to do. So the pre-roll can actually crit, even though the regular attack won't necessarily or doesn't crit. So you can sometimes get some weird AI because of that. You can see one of them targeted Jigglypuff, so now Jigglypuff is dead, but it's okay because we're going to swap in Nidoqueen instead. And we're pretty much just going to heal Pikachu a bunch. That was a weird turn 1, though.
Yeah.
It's good, though.
Oh, wait. Do I... Toxic turn 1 means I do this. Yeah, this is correct. Oh, cool. So I got the free 3 turn.
Yeah, it's the free 3 turn. It's actually really good.
Cool. And this is not
Because
something
normally you'll
that
take
goes
damage
for
there.
really easily, but my routing adds a lot more X items, so it's really easy to do this. So yeah, normally +4 is a range here, but I'm +4 with Helping Hand, which is guaranteed to murder this wheezing. And I'll have to heal both the poison and my HP after this fight. What is my special attack? 62 is not that bad.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
You have to menu here anyways put on the sailor suit, so.
True, true. Where do I do it from? Is it from... It's from the bag, right?
It's from the bag.
Yeah.
A costume chest or whatever it's called.
Clothing trunk.
Clothing trunk.
Pikachu. Sailor.
And the hat.
And the hat. Now you're
Aw,
looking great.
look at her.
Oh, some of the trainer.
It's actually pretty cute.
It's very cute.
Adorable. So you're gonna start noticing pretty soon here that once you reach a certain threshold of friendship, certain actions in battle are actually going to give you time loss. Basically, we call them turnarounds. So in this instance, if I use a healing item in battle on Pikachu after it's hit that certain friendship threshold, it's gonna do a little turnaround animation and say like a line of dialogue, and it loses like 2 seconds every time.
It's great. Also, if you do a super effective hit, it does it.
Yeah, and you're gonna see that.
It's like, I knew you could do it.
You're gonna see that being very important in endgame for Starmie. And it's actually part of why it matters a lot more for Eevee than Pikachu in at least the early game section. Because of Eevee using psychic moves here, having high friendship early on is really bad.
You can lose this fight if you get crit.
Yeah.
Which
you can
stinks.
like the Jesse James is also like if you get crit, you're probably dead. It's really dangerous.
Yeah.
1750 by the end of the run would be pretty cool, just saying.
That would be pretty cool. But you also have to make sure you get it early in enough that I have time to like explain the nonsense that goes on in my head.
This is also the only fight where minus speed matters, because gold add-on speeds, but I got very lucky and it did not hit my Pikachu.
I need some Pokemon headcanon in my life.
Exactly.
This is a really low attack Nidoqueen. So I didn't kill the Hypno. So this fight is basically the whole reason you need Helping Hands at all. Because the other fights you can deal with X items, but here you actually need Helping Hand. Because the only way for me to kill this this Rhyhorn without using like a Kingler or like Gloom or like no, those are really the only two options. Without using either of those two is by going to +6 attack, which is the maximum you can do, and then using Helping Hand on top of that to max out my attack. That is the only way to consistently kill this Rhyhorn. And I don't want to use Gloom or Krabby or Gloom or Kingler because it's just inconsistent or slow. So I get to +6 here. Zippy Zap to just not let it outspeed and do more damage. You can just die to like slash crit if you're not careful. It's really scary. And why you always need to make sure you have good health going in. And then double kick Helping Hand. And that also means that if you don't have a Nidoran, you can get Arcanine. Because Arcanine has Helping Hand and you can use that here too.
+6. That's +6 Helping Hand with plus attack. And it's still like one of them. It's a super effective move. 300% more attack, +50%, and your plus attack nature. And one of the Helping Hand hits does like 55%.
Mm-hmm. It's messed up. It's messed up.
It's messed up. There's a reason why Giovanni's the greatest trainer.
Yeah, part of it's because we're just like 8 levels lower than it. The other part of it is that a lot of the Pokemon in this game just have really jacked awakening values, especially in HP. So that Rhyhorn just has buffed HP on top of also having really good like defense and whatnot. Like it has 10 more HP points than a normal Rhyhorn would there. It's pretty crazy. And that matters a lot. I'm going to pick up these Ultras because I wasted 3 trying to catch an Onix. I situationally grab these depending on how many catches I have left because it lets me YOLO throw things, and YOLO throwing is just insanely fast if you get it and are lucky. And we're going to get Fly now. We haven't really talked about HMs, have we?
No, we're not.
What do we know we're not?
We're going to get Secret Technique Sky Dash.
We're going to get Floaty Float.
Why is not a real move?
Yeah. No, it's a real move.
There's
It's just not a...
There's only Secret Technique Sky Dash. Well, it's not what we're getting here.
Yeah. You want to explain how HMs work in this game?
There are no HMs in this game, which is a good thing that they did. Instead, you get secret techniques, which are taught to you by various people around the world. It's like a running bit where the person asks you if you want to learn it, and then it's like, and then Pikachu's like, I want to learn it instead, but it's in the form of Pika Pika. And it's like, well, I guess I could teach your Pikachu this. It's a bit unconventional, but you've always been an unconventional trainer, I suppose. And so then you instead, that's how you get access to all the different HM moves.
Yeah, and it's much nicer than obviously the old HM mechanics where you have to teach a move to a Pokemon because we just know the move. Each
one has a fun little logo too.
The only dumb thing is using strength. You have to use it to push every time you want to push a Volbeat. You have to do individual strength.
You mean
pushes.
strong push?
Sorry, strong push. Pushy push.
It's not pushy push. It should be pushy push. It's
in
chop
Eevee,
down, sea skim, sky dash, pushy push, and flash. I don't know what flash is called.
Said.
Or strong push and flash.
So I lured here to try to get a Ghastly. I don't need it, but it would be nice to secure that. I'm going to try to do a fast cycle here. Good, got lucky. Sometimes you can spin left and you have to...
I'm glad you do that now. You didn't do that for the longest time.
I know, it was very cringe.
Do we have
Light
time
up? That sounds right.
Yeah.
Do we have time for another quick donation? I think it's time for May headcanon time. So
how do we hit it already?
I know, right? Kato Pokenerd donated $97.52.
Thank you,
said, May headcanon. Let's go. See what I did there?
All right, Eminem. Glizzy Gulp is not one of them. That is incorrect.
So yeah, we passed $1,750 now, and we're at and 69 cents. Nice.
Nice.
Okay. So, you know how canonically Oras is like a parallel universe from the original game,
Sure.
right? This is also a parallel universe from the original game. And the main difference in it between it and the
So that hit that circle.
Ooh.
It'll get in. Easy.
So this is also a parallel universe. So it's a multiverse thing, right? And the original like game with like Red and stuff is still going on. But what happened was when you beat Red at the end of Heart Gold Soul Silver, another parallel universe game, as all the remakes are, he went to Oak and it was like, Oak, I'm no longer the greatest trainer in all the leagues, despite having my level 80 Pikachu, which I could not evolve for whatever reason. I need you to invent me a device that will allow me to travel back in time so that I can restart my journey all over again and be trained to become even stronger, right? But then what happened was that created a splinter in the space-time continuum, because at the exact same time is when the events of Diamond and Pearl were taking place, right? Because those are different regions. And so right at the same... So normally, like, Palkia and Dialga, who are in charge of keeping space and time all in sync and stuff, are, like, out there doing that. But they were currently being caught or trapped by the red chain, I think is what it's called, because that's what Cyrus was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they couldn't fix it, and so it created this rift in time and space, sending Red back in time to his original multiverses, but creating 7 different side multiverses. So this is where it gets complicated. So I'm gonna need you to all bear with me here. In multiverse,
Multiverses is a new game from Warner Brothers where you can fight
true.
Batman versus Rick and Morty.
So this is the first timeline, right? There's the first timeline split, right, that we get into is the events of Fire Red Leaf Green. We're not going to go over that right now. But essentially, in that universe, everything's less accurate. That's the main difference. In this, then the second Splinter universe that you create, or that gets created from there, is this one, the Let's Go universe. And in the Let's Go universe, everything is extremely different. Everyone has bigger eyes for some reason than they did before. That's like a pretty major difference. Additionally, there's just a lot more shiny Pokemon. That's a cool difference. Hold on.
Holding.
I need time to create, okay? This is another fight that works the same way as the other one we did before. We pretty much employ the exact same strategy, but in this time it's going to be a fortune because Etchy didn't get the really lucky Toxic. So
not true. I could get lucky here with.
You could. I mean, it's safer to go for it here than it is on the first one because if Pikachu dies, that's okay because it's actually the last fight we do with Pikachu. It's just slower than if Pikachu doesn't die.
Yeah. So
you gonna go for it?
No, I can't go for it.
Okay.
Didn't get lucky. One of the key differences between this fight and the other Jesse James fight is that in the first fight, Weezing only knows Toxing and Sludge Bomb. So if you send out like a Nido Queen or King, it'll basically never target it because it's also poison type, right? So that's why I usually send out Rhyhorn for that fight. But for this fight, the Weezing also has Dark Pulse and Flamethrower now, and I don't even know if it still has Toxic. I don't remember. So it's more likely to target a Nido. You can't send out Rhyhorn because it might just die. It's much easier for it to die compared to Nido Queen / King. But ideally, you just get a hit on that instead of Pika, and then you can safely X-Spec or go for Helping Hand or whatever.
All right, well,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, while May thinks of even more elaborate head cannons, my head already hurts. We do have I do want to plug in another donation. So we have a $15 donation from Jackal with no comment, but thank you very much.
Thank
I also
you.
want to quickly plug so there's a couple more incentives for tomorrow's run. So we have an incentive for the in-game language for Control. So you have the choice between German, English, French, and Spanish. German's in the lead with $97. So if you want to hear,
showing up.
If you want to hear any other language other than that, then donate. We also have an incentive for killing the ancient dragon in Dark Souls 2. Which it sounds really difficult, so it's only at $2 out of $60 so far. So
if I knew other languages, I would love to do an incentive where I say like change the language with no other context, and then just do all of my commentary in a different language depending on what gets picked. I think that would be very funny and not get old for the largely English-speaking audience after 4 minutes in any way.
You gotta finish learning Australian.
Right, I gotta finish learning Australian. That is true.
Do the whole entire run in Australian. Whoa, that'll be something.
Australian to play Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but it was worth it.
Worth.
So here's a Snorlax. Now this is the first fight in the game that's like this, where it's a wild Pokemon, but I can't catch it until I kill it. And it's really slow, so I'm just gonna run away. It's also not an easy catch, which is why I don't just do it.
All right. Anyway, so as you noticed that we're playing as a different character than the original Red. These are not the original characters from Red and Blue. They are their own separate characters, and that is because, again, we are not in the original universe of Red and Blue. We are in we are not in Kanto Prime, right? This is what's called. Yeah, you just that's the easy one. You just hug the fence. Yep. This is what we're gonna call. Oh yeah, you don't grab that. Totoro.
Ooh, Psyduck 2 is really good.
This is Kanto Alpha, right? Oh, sorry, no. Kanto Alpha was Fire Red Leaf Green. This is Kanto Beta. And an important difference between Kanto Alpha and Kanto Beta is that Pokemon have unionized in the world of Kanto Beta, which is why Pikachu is the one learning all of the moves rather than you, because you're not like Pikachu. You're not a union worker, but Pikachu is. So it's important that Pikachu does all of the HM stuff, because we obviously support unionization and whatnot. I think I'm not supposed to say political things on stream, which I've nailed. So
I'm on Route 17, and I have to catch a couple Pokemon here. Dodo is not a required catch, but it is very nice to get it. That Pidgey is really, really good. Okay, now we're going somewhere. Okay, so I got the Psyduck. The only real required catch here, if your catch count works out nicely, is Ponyta. As May mentioned, Rapidash is very fast and very good. So we're going to want to take advantage of that. But the reason why Pidgey is good is because I am
evolutions.
Basically done catching Pokemon now. I just need Ponyta and Staryu with the Pidgey. And yeah, it's going to evolve twice, and evolutions are faster than catches, so it's just really, really good. The only downside is because of when I catch this, I'm probably not going to get enough EXP, so I'm going to have to Radiant it.
Right, so the Ultra Wormholes are like portals between the different universes, and they're how they allow to seep into each other. If you think, like, that's pretty much what a wormhole's for, right? Don't think about that sentence at all. If you have any background in physics, please. So it's not really relevant to this because they're not like you can't really use the ultra wormholes to get to the universe you want to because they're random. So like it's hard. It's too much of a gamble, right? You don't know if you can get back. So not particularly relevant to this particular sub story that we're going down right here.
Subspace.
But so the way that you know that the Pokemon have unionized in here is that you notice in the basement of the game corner, when you stand on the rolling chair, that's because Team Rocket is using non-union labor, not using unionized Pokemon labor, and that's why they're not following like proper safety code and whatnot, because they're trying to skimp on. There's your pony. There's 2 ponies.
2 ponies.
They're trying to skip on costs by mass ordering rolly chairs, because they're not as concerned with safety because of that imbalance. So that's a little hint towards this whole plot that they throw out there. It's a little Easter egg for you.
So in situations like that, I need to actually do like a little side throw like that. I should have done that, but it's very rare to actually get a hop from Pony because I always YOLO throw it.
What's your
I thought
headcanon?
it would work out, but I went a little too late. I was trying to rush it for a great, didn't work out.
See, I feel
What's
like
your
you can't lock
headcanon?
the wheels on really, not on the chairs that they bought, because they went as cheap as possible.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And why you don't just push the desk to the side? That's because Pikachu is off the clock right now.
Okay, so I'm going to swap in the Ponyta now. I'm also going to swap in everything else that I can swap in. It's really unfortunate that Pidgey didn't get all those EXP catches. But it is okay.
I really feel like...
Mark it as my ride. Like I said, I'm pretty much forced to Candy Pidgey now. And I'm going to Candy Ponyta. I'll come back and Candy the Pidgey later. I just can't afford to do that right now.
I really feel like I did a lot of the heavy lifting on our world building there.
Yeah, you did. I am speedrunning.
Well, I need your... Where's your headcanon? It's your turn.
My headcanon is...
Where's your head?
Coma, and that's it.
Well, in the coma, because you wake up
Because
in
he was in a
the
bike
coma, and that's why you're so...
episode, like 7 of the anime or whatever.
Well, that's why you're so surprised about your hands again, because you wake up with no recollection of anything that's happened to you before, like in 51st Date. So we're going to go into my second headcanon here, which is that the protagonist of Let's Go, the female protagonist of Let's Go, is the same as the main character in 51st Dates, a movie that I have not seen in about 13 years, because like in that movie, as you remember, the whole plot is that she has that like short-term memory loss and can never remember anything that's happened in the last day. And in this, you wake up and you're really confused about having hands because you've forgotten that you're capable of having hands. And this is something that's happened to you after this happened because of an injury that she had. Drew Barrymore's character, yes, thank you. That happened to her during the war, which we all know is a part of the Pokemon universe because of Lieutenant Surge, which is a military title, obviously. But it wasn't like an in-battle injury. It was like, because it's like a kid and stuff. It's just like it's a propaganda sign fell on her head because it was not properly put up. This is the part where the dome fossil matters, because we picked the Helix fossil. There's a Kabuto there. If we had picked the dome fossil, then we would see a Ammonite. Your choices matter. It's like Life is Strange.
It's like Telltale. It's like a
Exactly.
Wow.
Let's go. Remember that.
Yeah, I was gonna make that same joke. Damn it. So here's Sea Skim. So now we can finally surf. And now that we can finally surf, we're going to main switch now. Which, if you haven't figured it out yet, we're going to switch to Staryu. Staryu is really good for a lot of reasons. One, it's super high level. Two, it has really perfect coverage for what we're going to try to do here. Let's see. Wow, that was really weird. We're going to be teaching it Psychic. It's going to have Psychic. We're going to teach it Hydro Pump. We're going to teach it Scald. And we're also going to teach Thunderbolt later. So it gets Psychic, Water, and Electric coverage, which is really all you need to get through the game. Ice would be cool, but a lot of big Pokemon are blocking me here.
Congrats
all
on
I need to
Pikachu.
kill is Staryu, and then we're done with catching. I got a lot of catches early on, which happens very frequently in Pico, and it makes things work out nicely. So hopefully I have a good Staryu here. It is guaranteed to be Modest Nature. That is a reasonable CP on it. 1068, which means it's probably a little bit above average.
You know about the headcanon thing? I don't have anything good to say, but I was gonna say my only headcanon for games like this is the speedrunner's headcanon, where if they don't get the Pikachu or Eevee they want, they mentally reset again and to the point of beginning and do everything over again until they get an appropriate Pikachu. Or
51st
Eevee.
dates. That's what I'm saying. It
That's
all
how your
comes
character,
together.
like, freaks out as if they're like, oh my
You
god,
literally-
I'm like a living person.
Whenever you reset, your character goes home and goes to bed.
In my defense, I've actually never watched that movie before, so I'm
haven't seen it
happy
in a
that was
while.
pretty much the same thing. I'm happy.
I have not seen it in a long time, but I'm pretty sure I nailed it.
Alright, so we're officially done with the catching section. We have a path, a very clear path to 50 Pokemon now. All I have to do is basically evolve my things and then get 2 free Pokemon later, and then we are at 50. Right now I have 42, and I'm about to get 43 by evolving here. So I'm going to swap up Staryu to the front. I'm also going to put you in slot 2. And let's see how good this
Black.
start is.
I panicked for a second when you dropped your lure,
Mhm.
because I've been playing BDSP, and I was like, you're getting an encounter, oh god.
So remember that candy we picked up all the way back on Route 6, right after Misty? We're finally using it here. It's a situational use. You either use it now or later. You use it early if you have bad speed. I don't know what my speed actually was. I don't have the threshold written down in these notes. But you just do it for safety anyway. My special attack was okay. Not anything special, probably like 9, 10 IV out of 31, which is okay. Very similar to my PB's Starmie. Doesn't means I can't go for any like really juicy time saves, but we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna teach Scald as well. Yeah, I think I could have skipped and delayed the rare candy. I'm also gonna use this repel because why not?
Can you tell by speed? Or can you tell this how good the speed is if you look at the Staryu, not Starmie stats?
Yeah, because it'll always like correlate to the same value when you.
I saw
evolve it.
90. I saw 93 at 46.
Yeah, I think the cutoff is at 43 is like 80, like high 80, like 88, 89, which I definitely had. So I should have not done it. Right now I have like 120 speed, 122, which is super high. You only need 118 to like be safe, basically. Because speed literally will only matter in 2 spots. Plane, which if you triple candy is pretty much never a problem. And if you have really, really high speed, you can get the God Agatha fight. Or like safely get the God Agatha fight. But you need really, really good speed. Like I've only gotten good enough speed one time. Good. So this is kind of a risky strat. Risky, but it's only really a problem like 3% of the time. The old strat used to be sacrificing Doduo here and just letting it die and be focused down so Starmie doesn't get hit. But if Starmie gets hit, it's not a big deal as long as you don't get paralyzed, which is only 10%. And you could always bed heal right after this fight to have full health restored and statuses healed and whatnot. So I'm going to shake away our partner here. The repel's going to run out pretty soon, probably as soon as I go down these stairs. And I'm going to have to pick up the extra rare candy just for Pidgeotto. And I'm not going to use the candy until I actually get Pidgeotto. Just to make sure I actually evolve in time. There's a Ditto.
You just catch the Ditto instead?
I could, but Ditto...
Because think about it, picking up the candy takes 5 seconds. And picking up the Ditto could take 30,000 seconds.
10 years, yeah.
So it's impossible to say which is better.
But what about content?
True.
I'll provide the content. Don't worry. I'll give you people what you want when we, as we exit Victory Road, I will give the people what they are craving.
You're gonna ride Onyx? That's what I crave.
Why would you spoil it? Come on, May.
Cause I just don't know. I was asking. You could have just said no.
I was gonna
You could have just
ride.
lied to all of our viewers.
I would never lie to viewers for content. That'd be insane.
That's cool.
Hydro Pump Agatha? No.
Yeah, you're gonna pump Agatha. Yeah, for content. For the fans.
The fans.
So you're gonna hydro pump things that you don't need to hydro pump.
I could do that for the fans. So this is the first gym fight we've done in about an hour and a half. You've gone from the first gym, the second gym, now to the 7th gym in terms of like level difficulty. I have to do some quiz questions here. They're always the same. If you mess it up, you have to fight an optional trainer. So it kind of sucks. Don't do it. Don't mess up. But this is why Staryu is great, because we can immediately do this gym leader, and it's completely free because, you know, water beats fire. Pretty nice. However, you can get burned, and if you get burned, you do lose a bunch of time, and it always feels bad when you do get the burn.
Yeah, it
If
sucks.
you're lucky, you just get turn 1 flamethrower, but usually Magmar will go for Confuse Ray first. Look at Pikachu's surprise face, his pog face.
Those Blaine dolls are like so over the top.
I never noticed his tie is like burnt, you know? It's a very cool tie. See, I'm gonna lead with an X-Spec here. And you're gonna find out a lot of Starmie fights are just lead with X-Spec and then don't. Unlucky.
Yeah.
Have to heal the confusion there using a free item I got earlier, and there's the burn. I cannot
There's the
heal the burn. If I
burn.
heal the burn, I will get confused again. I simply have to deal with the burn. That was a 10% to happen. And what the burn means is I'm going to lose time on every single turn, and then on top of that I have a chance of status lag, and then on top of that I have to menu early and heal it. Because I don't want to lose more time on the next few fights, because now we are entering a gym leader rush, where I'm going to fight Surge and then Erica, and then we're going to do the Sylph Coast side quest that is required to beat the game. And then from there we do the rest of the gym leaders required, including Koga. And then we finish the game. We go fight the last gym leader and then go win the game. So yeah, all the catching is done. There's no more tomfoolery there. We just battle, and don't get unlucky. And some of the most RNG-filled parts of the run are coming up very soon.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
For those curious, this run is like... .305, 306 pace? Around there?
That's still very good.
Yeah.
Seriously? Wow, that's... I think, isn't that
Very
we're on the marathon world record pace hype.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
So this is like... The nice thing with Let's Go Pika and Eevee is that it's really easy to get like sub, I don't know, like 3-10 times even on a marathon run, as long as you don't die when your PV is like a 301, because the run itself is like fairly consistent if you're not going for top end times. If you're just going for like good, then you can
again,
mess
like,
around. You can, like there's a lot more leeway, but when you're going for top end times, you have to be really aggressive and reset bad things very often.
And there's just fewer death points in this than a lot, like most of the Pokemon runs. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
there, don't get
sure.
me wrong, but it's usually like you have to get crit at a certain point versus like the nonsense that is a lot of other games. It's like, oh, I missed a move, so now I'm dead. Oh, it just used a move in combination, so I'm dead. Oh, it used embargo, so my run's dead.
It's
Oh, it
really
used...
easy to lose time in fights. It's really hard to die.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why like a lot of the top runs involve taking a lot of risk in the fights just to save more time, not necessarily because like you have to.
Would just like catching skills play a large role as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That adds up.
It's
Yeah,
like-
I think the biggest difference with what turned me from like a 304 runner to like a 301 runner is literally just changing my catching strategy to being insanely aggressive and just YOLO throwing literally everything that you can get away with. I think the only
I hope you
that
get
really
good
slow
cans.
down on are everything in early game up through Mount Moon. Everything else I rush as fast as possible. Incredibly
First try
difficult can
cans.
puzzle.
That's so lucky.
I know, crazy.
Or
Uh,
Sparkle.
If you're playing
We'll
a
make the
bad
same
game,
joke every time.
if you're playing a bad game, you usually have to like talk to a can and then save, and then get the other cans. This is a good game, so we don't have to do that. The cans are always the same. So always do the top, middle, and then the middle, and then you're good. Easy peasy. So yeah, now that we're super high level, we can just destroy both Surge and Erica just by one-shotting everything, which is really nice. Which is why you might have been asking, like, why didn't we just do Surge earlier or Erica earlier while we were there? And it's because Pikachu sucks. And Starmie's really good. So even though we have to fly back here, it's still, like, way faster to just do this. And way more consistent, too.
Yeah.
I love Raichu with his chocolate-dipped hands.
In the Baton Pass run, which was a neat category extension where you use a different evolutionary line for every major, or every gym leader in Elite Four fight. You use Rapidash in this fight, and you're supposed to hit 3 Fire Blasts, which is an 80% move. And the one time I tried Baton Pass, I managed to miss 4 of them, which was super cool. And then I died. It was awesome.
I need to try Baton Pass at some point. I haven't done it.
It's a very, very, very cool run.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if I end up ever getting Let's Go Pika World Record, then I have to also get AOP World Record, right? Like, that's how that works.
Have fun.
Does that also include Diploma World Record?
Oh, never mind. I take that back.
Diploma World Records, like, Diploma World Record, that's a really hard grind to do because you have to rope another person into it.
Yeah.
The only way that Etchy gets Diploma World Record is if you somehow, like, use this as an excuse to get me to play Let's Go again. Then I get, like, also addicted. Because the Diploma World Record's, like, insanely good.
So, Erica's gimmick is that you have to show her a Pokemon that is cute.
Oh, Duo!
So, why don't you go ahead and type and tell me which Pokemon you think is the cutest in Gen 1?
Doduo. Well, Doduo is the cutest one we have right here. The cutest Pokemon in Gen 1
I think Starmie's
is,
pretty cute, honestly, and she agrees.
The cutest Pokemon in Gen 1 is Magnemite.
Is it Pumpkaboo?
Pumpkaboo. It's not Gen 1 Pokemon, you bozo.
Pumpkabozo. Pikachu Sailor, yeah. Muck. You can show her
Combinate
any
a lot,
Pokemon, and she'll say it is very cute, including Muck. Wow.
Wow.
I learned so much today. Thank you, Etchy, for teaching us about cute Pokemon.
I tell this story.
Is my Ace Trainer May impression.
Ace Trainer May is terrible, okay. Hi everyone, this is Ace Trainer May, and here with another Ace Trainer tip. So, in order to get into Erica's gym, you actually have to show a Pokemon that's cute. So what I recommend you do is that if you're on Cycling Road, you can catch a Doduo, and because Doduo is a bird with 2 heads, that's cuter than 1 head, so it's double cute. So then all you have to do is show the Doduo, and then you'll get into Erica's gym. Alright, thank you, I hope this helped. That is unironically what I believed for a really long time in this game, is that you have to show Doduo, and that's why we caught Doduo. because the note said you have to catch a cute poke, or you have to catch Doduo. It's a required catch, and the reason for that is for a different fight later on. But I thought it was to get into this gym.
I didn't actually explain why Doduo is a good catch. I did mention it's not required. So coming up after this fight is Blue. Blue, we're going to 2 controller, and Blue leads with an Executor, which is pretty scary because Starmie has no answer for it. The consistent way to kill it is to use Dodrio, use an X attack on it, and use Drill Peck because it'll always kill, even though we have a modest Dodrio. Remember the synchronized. But the only downside to that is that I have to swap Dodrio to slot 2, so it's a little bit slower. Whereas the optimal play is to actually just use Rapidash, X Special on it, and then hit a Fire Blast. Unfortunately, Fire Blast is 50% to miss, but it is technically a better play. I will be going for the Dodrio thing because it is safer and I do have it, but you're not required to have Dodrio. It's totally fine to just not have it. I really need Pidgeotto to evolve at some point here.
And Dodrio be even better because triple the cuteness.
Dodrio's less cute than Doduo, I'll be honest.
Good point.
Evolutions in general are less cute. So we actually fly back to the town we're already in here. And the reason that we do that is because it's faster.
Yep.
It's actually pretty quick to, or like, it's decently quick to fly back to a map you're already on. It's not like Sword and Shield quick, where it's crazy quick.
Crazy quick.
Crazy quick. Don't make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you.
What's your problem?
So yeah, so now we're gonna go rescue some random company here called Silphco from the likes of Team Rocket. And this is probably the worst place in the entire Starmie section.
This is the worst. This
is fine.
Yes,
again, like I said,
sucks.
if you're using Dodrio, it's perfectly consistent. But the fight after is really bad, and we'll talk about that when we get there. The fight after Blue is the worst fight in the entire run. And it makes me want to pull my hair out whenever I get here on good pace and get trolled.
Yeah, the fight. So this first fight that we're gonna do is against Blue, which is the story here is like Blue's like you have to prove that you're strong enough. I guess it's weird. It's not well thought out in my opinion.
Make sure you're good enough to beat these bad guys. Here, let me weaken you by fighting you.
Yeah, it's really silly.
You can go save this company. This is literally in BDSP when Barry stops you from chasing the criminal to battle you for no freaking reason.
Yeah, it's very similar. Nice split.
The viewers don't see that. Don't say that.
I see everything. So this Blue fight, Executor is like the one Pokemon in the run that Starmie honestly has like 0 answer for, so we just have to do something else for it. Which is why we have Doduo. And then after that, we're going to fight Archer 2, the worst fight in the game. Archer 2 is a true double, which means we're going to be fighting with Trace, our rival.
Nice picture.
Trace, despite us being pretty late in the game, Trace has not learned how to evolve his Pokemon yet, unfortunately, which is a bummer. Also, for whatever reason, because it is I guess because it's like the one true double we do in this game, it is the laggiest fight in the world, and you'll see just how bad it is when we get there. It is absurdly slow. It's just like the calculation lady meme, but in Pokemon fight form.
Pretty much, yeah. It's because it's true double, it's the only fight in the run that does it, and it's just so stupid. And it's a completely RNG filled fight, so you have no control over anything.
Ideally, it takes 3 turns. The worst I've seen is like 11.
Yeah, the ideal situation never happens.
It's not like twice.
At least on a good run. You're
like
a
4,
reasonable
you're like,
hope
okay,
is a 4-turn fight. An average fight's 5 turns.
Yeah. And every turn is like a minute. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really, really dumb. So yeah, Pidgeotto might not get the level up in time. If it does, cool. But if not, I will just rare candy it before flying off to Koga. And if we don't use it, I might have a use for that candy later anyway. Potentially. Alright, Archer. It is time. By the way, I forgot to mention this earlier, but kind of going back to like how marathon safe this run is. I have not saved a single time, if you haven't noticed. I have not saved one time in this run.
That
Because
could
a
have
lot of times
backfired
I just
on you
have
on
the
like
Archer.
Archer, but you got
Even
revived.
here,
so
like I
it's
have a full party of Pokemon, so like worst case scenario, it's just really slow. I won't like die.
Hey, Archer 2! So the ideal fight for this is that Muck doesn't protect and Electrode explodes. Will it happen?
Let's find out.
Get up and
this is how
stretch a
long it
little
takes?
bit.
Okay. Like, that's bad, but at least I didn't get Protect and the T-Bolt, which is the
Yeah.
worst case scenario. So now
Get
I let
Thunderbolt,
Self-Destruct.
dude, you have
This
to
can actually
heal.
still be really good if I get Self-Destruct this turn. I'm gonna heal. I have to keep healing until I stop getting Thunderbolted, which is not good, but maybe we'll get lucky. There you go. Really good. This is
That
still
was
really
good,
good,
yeah.
fight, especially if I get Bone Meringue here, because we can kill this Raticate like now. Okay, that's fine. It's still
Focus
gonna die
energy.
by the time I clear out the right side, so still a pretty good fight.
Yeah.
This is what you hope for.
Not the
when
3-turn,
you
but
bring them.
could be a 4
Yeah.
turn.
Because we got Focus Energy, no matter what happens here, Raticate will die by the time I kill Golbat. Because Cubone's just gonna either Headbutt or Bone Meringue. Now, if you miss Bone Meringue, then obviously it won't die, but Raticate being done early is really good. This is one of the weird 4 turns where it's actually like a bad start, but it works out totally fine.
I had to notice something interesting. There's no abilities in Let's Go Let's
There's
Go
not.
Pikachu Eevee, right? So technically you can boomerang Weezing and
Yep.
it's all good.
Yep.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
that
pretty
until
neat.
like a while after, because I was like, because sometimes I would say like, wait, why does ground type attacks work on Weezing and Coughing?
Yeah, this game throws back to
Game
Gen 1 in a lot of
has-
ways. A lot of that's
It has, like,
simplifying the battles.
uh,
So there's no abilities, no
The
health.
battle. Let's keep cross talking. It's really good.
Go ahead, sorry.
The battle system is modernized, like it's like it's a modern iteration of it. It just doesn't have like a built like features that were introduced after, if that makes sense. So like the physical special is by move, not by type anymore. Things like that, but it does not have held items and abilities. You can actually step on those teleporters faster. They're really weird.
Yeah, you have to enter them at a very precise angle, otherwise you get that animation I just got. You'll see it a lot in Sabrina's gym. So this one, that's what happens.
Yeah,
if
so
you
that,
do it
so
quickly.
that was faster. In the original games, you fought Rival 5 here. You do not in this game, which is nice.
Yeah, they substituted for the blue fight, I guess, or the.
This is
Archer
part of
fight.
it, us being in the alternate timeline.
Yeah. This is the hardest teleporter to enter correctly. Nice.
Ooh, that was clean.
That was a very spicy angle, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Alright, now a Jesse James fight. This is, again, very tedious self-go section. This is fortunately a free fight. And this is one spot where having Rapidash is actually better because you can use Stomp, and Stomp can flinch, and it just increases not having the slow heal here. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to give Weezing a turn. It's going to use Thunderbolt. And ideally it hits Dodrio, but it might hit Starmie, and then I have to heal it if that happens. Some delay there, but not as bad as Archer. So, a little different.
You get less delays since you're technically fighting with your own party.
Yeah, that's the reason. So really good to get T-Bolt there. Oops. There. And now the last part, we are going to fight Giovanni. This is the easiest Giovanni fight because now that we have a good Pokemon, we're just going to destroy him. The first and last Giovanni fights are really dumb. So it's the same Persian. I'm just gonna expect spam Scald. Save the day. And part of the reason why I do that is because of Fake Out. You can potentially get away with like Hydro Pumping if you have good stats, but not with Fake Out, and he always goes for a turn 1. You know, I wonder why. Well, I know why, but like from a story perspective on Archer, do you think they communicate with each other like, hey, I'm going to self-destruct this turn, you should protect? And they clearly don't do that, which is
No.
not a good way to like be a boss in an evil organization, you know?
Yeah, well, Archer's not good at his job.
Fair.
Got beaten by a 12-year-old twice.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say that for
Two
everyone.
12-year-olds. The second time, one of them has like a level 39 Cubone because he keeps hitting B on accident.
God, can you imagine if he had a Marowak there?
I know.
So spicy. So yeah, we get a Master Ball here, which is cool, but I'm done catching things, so it's not going to be useful anywhere. If I wanted to, I could like catch Moltres and use that in the Elite Four or something. That's the only legendary that's like, along the way. So we're gonna get 2 more Pokemon really quickly. They're not catches, they're just gift Pokemon for saving the day. First is a Lapras right here.
You know, I just wanted to say Pokemon emphasizes adults being incompetent and little 12-year-old kids, 10, 12-year-old kids being the big brain.
So we're chill at the first game where they're like, no, you're kids. You don't go. What are you doing? Don't follow us.
And then they just give up on that at the end. They're like, you take care of everything.
Well, to be fair, you do have the sword and the shield.
But you could just give that to an adult.
No, because you're the chosen one. You do not remember the lore about the Darkest Day?
Well, you know, the
explained it
adult,
like 9 times.
Yeah, dark side, yada yada, whatever.
you know, the adult
Yeah.
that was with you threw a Pokeball, a regular Pokeball, at the giant dragon thing, and then got wrecked. I mean, it's prophecy.
So there's Porygon, and now we are basically set. All that has to happen now is Pidgeotto evolving. I will do that on the last menu if we don't get the evolution naturally. And we're going to do one more shopping trip. This is the last shopping trip of the run. I am now loaded because I have not shopped since Vermilion City. So I'm going to get some Max Repels. Now that we no longer need to catch things, this is going to be very useful. I'm going to get some X Speeds because I actually just will need to be faster than things a lot of times. X Special Defense for particularly the last 2 fights. I'm going to get like... I need more of these. I'm going to get 31 X Special Attacks. I'm gonna get a lot of full heals because I used all of my status items already, and then Hypers, yeah. And now we have 2 gyms, and then we go fight Giovanni, and then we go to the Pain Cave of Victory Road. So Sabrina's requirement is just a level 45 Pokemon. We have that clearly. Pretty easy. Some of the requirements are really annoying, like Koga, and then some of them are just like, yeah, just have a Pokemon. Just show us something. Show us that you try. There's a lot of teleport puzzles here. Some of the cycles here can be kind of weird if you're not careful, but they're generally pretty consistent. I'm really glad that we can see Sailor Pikachu the entire time just on my shoulder. It's so good.
It was worth it.
I feel like I wish.
So worth it.
Honestly, you should get world record with Sailor Pikachu.
Yeah.
Sounds like the ultimate flex.
He is the one called Sailor Pikachu.
The best peak outfit is the Team Rocket one. That one's awesome.
That one's very good too. Crimes
You can also give
Pikachu.
your Pikachu and Eevee haircuts, by the way. You can give Pika an afro, and it's my favorite thing in the world. Unfortunately, it's really hard to do, and you have to be in handheld mode. So this is Sabrina. This fight's stupid because of light screen existing. It is possible to just not get light screen. It's super rare, but it can happen. If that happens, you just save 20 seconds straight up. That is the wrong item. I've made this mistake many times. It is okay. All I do now is skip the XP. So yeah, I'm just going to set it to +2. And I'm going to time this so that when I kill this Mr. Mime, the light screen will run out on the same turn. That way I can safely kill everything else. So I'm going to let Alakazam get a turn off on me because I X special defended instead of X speeded, but nothing really bad happens. He just loses a little bit of time. So yeah, there's no way I get Pidgey out here, right? There's just no way.
Your catch is pretty good. So far.
I didn't get. I caught one Pokemon out. Oh, I really got it still? Wow, that's crazy.
Easy.
That is so crazy because it wasn't even in my party right away. I only caught the Staryu.
Easy clap.
Jeez. Well, now I have an extra rare candy. I can choose to pop that before Agatha, potentially. And I'm gonna definitely want it if I end up getting Dawson Skip, which we'll talk about later.
If you get the Dawson skip, I'll donate $100.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I'll match that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's see if we can.
We
We'll
get
see
our
if we
skip
can do it.
content.
I would not be surprised if the one run to get it would be this run. Okay, so with the memes that are going to take place this run, this is very safely like sub 310 pace. Just depends on how many memes we do with. Well, that'll dictate how close this is to 310. So we're gonna do some memes pretty soon.
I think you mentioned your Starmie is pretty decent, right?
It's perfectly average. Let's see, deposit. It's nothing special. So I'm gonna pop that rare candy. I don't want to use both, even though I have the extra one. Like, it's cool. I do not want to use it.
You'll get earlier turnarounds. It sucks.
Yeah, I mentioned before that turnarounds and friendship matters a lot more in the Starmie section. Basically, it's pretty much completely unavoidable unless you do some really stupid stuff to have turnarounds by the time you get to Agatha. So, if you candy more than you need to, you will get turnarounds even earlier, and you'll lose an extra like 10 seconds. So this is the Koga is the last gym before the final gym, and it's the big bad one with the dumb requirement, and it is also probably the worst gym. We did it, 50 Pokemon, yeah.
Woo! You didn't get kicked by Koga.
So this gym is bad because 1 Koga and then 2 Ace Trainer Kaden, which is the only trainer fight in this gym. Everyone in Koga's gym loves to spam Protect, so it's just RNG how much time you're going to lose at any given point. I don't need to do anything yet. So we'll see how this goes. This muck is terrifying because it has Minimize, Moonblast, which lowers special attack sometimes, and it also has Protect. And Toxic.
Super obnoxious, yeah.
Awful. Super obnoxious.
Wait, Muck can learn Moonblast?
Sure can. So I'm going to attack here because it's very likely to... Oh, it's unlucky. It's very likely to not protect after using poison from what I've seen. That's the first time it's failed since I came back to running this game.
I'm not gonna lie, that's the first time I've ever... that's a definite... Today I learned. How does that thing cast Moon... like a fairy type attack? Alright, I'm not gonna ask questions.
82 defense is a little risky, but I should be fine. I'm possibly in explosion range. We'll see. I think my defense is fine, though. I have the damage calcs, but not on my stats. But for the most part, really bad defense. It's still a range to kill me even with bad defense here. Yeah, Muck is the cutest Pokemon. That's why it's a fairy in disguise.
That's a good point. You know, when you put it like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's I'll accept that. That's pretty good explanation.
We did not die to explosion. Awesome. If you have good special attack, you can scald some things here. That way, if you get Protect, you don't lose Psychic PP. I do not have good special attack. It's fine.
Well, I suppose while Starmie beats up all the Pokemon, do we have a moment to plug in our charity that we're raising money for?
Once I get out of here, but that was a 1 Protect Koga, which was really, really
very,
good.
very good. Yeah.
But the Kaden fight was really bad, so I'm gonna have to heal now when I fly out of here, but it's okay. That's fine. But yeah, go ahead, Sanjin.
I did not realize you got a really good Koga fight, so that's pretty hype. My bad. But anyhow, so we're Team Velocity. We're raising money for the Movember Foundation, which is a foundation that focuses on men's mental health, suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. So in the US, the rate of male suicide is alarmingly high. So November looks at mental health through a male lens, focusing on prevention, early intervention, and health promotion. So we're hoping that by 2030, we can reduce the rate of male suicides by 25%. So every donation counts a lot, and it's a really good charity. So So thank you so much to all the donors that have that are making this possible. We've raised over 17,000 or $1,750 so far. Thank you so much to everyone.
Woo! Here's a fun little speedrun trick. If you hug this sign right here, when you enter this cutscene, you save like 4 seconds. Because if you're too low, he'll walk down to you. And it's very slow. Yeah, here's some more alternate timeline BS where we're gonna get some Mega Stones, which we're not gonna be able to use in the run because we do not have a Blastoise, Venusaur, or Charizard. But we have the Mega Stones for them now. That's cool. We can get Mega Pikachu.
Thought Mega Pikachu was in an alternate universe, aka in another continent far, far away.
Oh yes, the UK.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point of the run now where I'm gonna start hitting Hydro Pumps.
Woo! Love Hydro Pump.
Yeah, I love them.
Hydro Pump content's the best.
I should probably 2-controller Nidoking here because it's very like if I die, I'm just screwed. Yeah, so for those who don't know, Hydro Pump is a 110 base power, 80 accuracy move compared to Scald, which is only 80 base power, but 100 accuracy. So that extra 30 power is really, really important in a few spots. We just need that to guarantee some kills. One of those places is this Nidoking coming up after this fight. You can't one-shot it without Hydro Pump, unless you have really high special attack. And it can kill you if you don't kill it quickly enough, so it's super dangerous. I will donate $5 for every missed Hydro Pump.
%, by the way. Though I guess
W, so it's never gonna hit. It's 80% times if you're on a good run or not, and then it decreases greatly depending on that.
I know that feeling. 80% in other games.
I wanted to talk to them, but whatever.
80%. I know from experience, 80% in other games translates to more like 20%. Exactly.
20% if you're on a good run. 90% if you are on a bad run. Let's see. Hydro Pump number 1. Good.
Easy.
Or I guess you could say the worse the Starmie, the better the Hydro Pump chances.
True. Also very true. Because my Eevee world record has the worst Starmie in the universe and did not miss the important Hydro Pumps. You have a choice of this trainer or the other trainer. The other one has a Sand Slash, which gives a little bit more EXP, but has a Protect. So we fight this one instead. And now it's time for the final gym leader. We're almost done, folks. This is a very annoying gym leader because this Doug Trio is going to do a lot of damage to us. I'm going to have to leave with an X defend. And then just hope I don't get crit. If you get crit, you're just going to die, unfortunately. If you have really good defense / HP, you can just skip the X defend and then the fight's free. But you need to have pretty high stats to tank that safely. Which I don't think I've ever had good enough defense. At least, like, not that I've noticed it. Oh, that's the wrong right. Ah, shit. That's pretty bad. I'm gonna have to Hyper Potion now. I don't know why I thought that was in slot 3. It was definitely my first X item. I'm gonna X-Spec here. And then don't get crit.
You just had a Sabrina moment, is all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because I use an X special defense?
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just X items being in weird spots. I don't know.
Yeah. Part of that's gonna rust because I haven't played this a lot the last couple days. And I didn't get to the Star Army section this morning, so this is the first time I've done the Star Army section in probably like a week at this point. But yeah, something I haven't talked about is a lot of the shopping and the routing for the shopping is very particular, such that items end up in certain spots at certain times. Ideally, especially the mid-game shopping is set up very specifically so that X attacks and X special attacks are always one input to get to them. So it's like 1 up for X attack or 1 left for X special attack. It's a little bit more finicky for late game because there's so much variance between like whether you use all your full heals or whether you use all your full healing items or whether you use all your 8 awakenings or antidotes or whatever. It's very, very finicky. So you can't really rely on it. But sometimes they work out. Like right now it worked out nicely where I have X speed up 1 and then X special attack left 1. If you take too much damage, you have to heal before this next fight, but I am okay.
Can you do 1 controller Rebel 5?
Why would I do that? Fun fact, you can 1 controller this fight if you have a really good Star Army and Eevee, and that's why this is one of the places where the top end for Eevee is just really juicy, if you can get this fight. But I'm going to 2 control this.
Do you just need like generally really good stats to 1 controller?
Yeah, good enough special attack and good enough speed. The speed is the bigger issue. And then you have to hit a Hydro Pump on Raichu. Every time I've gone for the strat, when I had good enough stats, I missed the Hydro Pump. Because the 1 controller strat revolves around just killing the Pidgeotto at +0 with T-Bolt and outspeeding it. I need to T-Bolt. This. The way Pokemon Order is decided on an AI that has like intelligence is very funky. But basically, no matter what happens, Jolteon cannot come out second. So I'm going to X-Speed here. I need to X-Speed before Jolteon comes out, otherwise it will outspeed me. I can't X-Speed on the same turn as it comes out because it's not going to take effect until the next turn. So yeah, in this fight we got Jolteon last. And because I'm right on setting up, I'll take this last turn to just heal, and that way I'm set for the next fight. Jolteon's fainting animation is so sad. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Just like collapses on all 4s. Ugh. I feel bad.
Isn't it technically more annoying to deal with than Raichu?
Yeah, Jolteon's bulkier.
Yeah.
With causes problems only really on the last rival fight. Although it would actually be nicer to fight Raichu for... No, for Rival 4 it doesn't matter because the Gloom is the real issue. It's just way too bulky. Whereas Eevee gets a Fire-type move, so it's able to deal with the Gloom really easily.
So now we have a very efficient way of checking all your badges.
Yeah.
There's 8 different people.
They're just
Very cool.
something
Very
that
good.
the job economy, right? They're just
True.
providing more-
Okay.
creating more
Okay.
jobs. There you go. That's the phrase.
This poor guy who has just to swim all day to do it.
I mean, they could be quote unquote lifeguards. I guess.
I suppose.
But like, how many people are really coming through here on any given day, right? That's a mistake. If you press A while you're riding a Pokemon and you're not talking to anything, you just talk to the midair and lose like 5 seconds. It's great.
I guess there are a decent amount of trainers on Victory Road, I guess, but maybe not too many.
Yeah, so in Gen 1 and Fire Leaf Green, you fight 0 trainers in Victory Road. In this game, you fight like 5. You can maybe skip one of them, but we'll talk about that later. This next fight is the worst one, though, and it's where I've lost many, many good runs.
It's so bad.
I'm going to be doing the 2-controller strat, which is a lot safer, but I'm still going to be going for a Hydro Pump. So the optimal way and fastest way to do this fight is to use 1 controller, X special attack, Hydro Pump, and then Psychic Venusaur. The problem is Hydro Pump is a range if you don't have really good special attack, and you still have to hit Hydro Pump, and if you miss, you're going to die. Or if you don't kill, you're going to die. So the really safe strat is to 2-controller it. However, it can take twice as long if you get unlucky.
Easy.
That's a crit. If I got the fight like that on my PB, I would also have world record already. Because my PB has the worst fight possible here. Don't have to do anything this turn, so I'm just going to stop. So yeah, that version of the fight's not too bad because it's only 1 turn slower than the optimal fight. Well, the bad thing that happens is you miss Hydro Pump or you don't kill, then you have to X-Spec and Scald on the next turn, and it's just an extra 2 turns lost. One double turn loss, yeah.
Do we have time for another quick donation?
Yes, please.
So we have $50 from someone who loves roller coasters. Who said,
Oh, swoos.
who said, shout outs to Etchy for doing this run tonight, and shout outs to everyone at home that has made our goal of 2,500 for this marathon look more and more achievable. Pumpkaboo! Did I say that right?
So that's actually not what Pumpkaboo's cry sounds like, which I learned recently. It's actually like Pumpkaboo. But that's not as fun to say.
Thank you very much, Soos, for the $50 dono.
Thanks for having me short notice. This is always a good time. And then this is also, I've now done both Let's Go runs, because I did Let's Go Eevee for the first Velocity
True.
run. That guy in the
That means next time you'll do AOP.
Dawson is a trainer that we recently found out is actually skippable. We thought it was a required fight, but we were fools. The problem is Dawson's skip is incredibly inconsistent and unreliable, so you're not going to get it 95% of the time. And we haven't found like a consistent way to make it work. But hey, maybe I'll get it this time. Who knows?
It'll be the ultimate content.
Yeah.
Because you have to deal with less XP, but I suppose you do have a rare candy for that.
You have an extra rare candy. I am prepared. If I go down this ladder right now, I will see a Moltres, but we have a better fire Pokemon here anyway. So this is a trainer skip that's pretty hard. Different from Dawson. Really easy to mess up too.
Oh, that was so fast.
Yeah. You gotta go fast.
Pretty good.
I'm like, I hate that skip so much. I'm so terrible. Or like, it stresses me out immensely.
It stresses me out a lot, yeah. This is one of many bad Victory Road fights because this Jinx, you have to Hydro Pump it, and it also can put you to sleep. The Hypno tried to put me asleep earlier and it failed. Let's see if you can have a good fight here. It can also freeze you with Ice Beam.
Yeah, but you just scald then.
Yeah. I thought, I was convinced it was about to freeze me there because I said that and it used Ice Beam immediately. So yeah, the problem with Dawson Skip is you lose a lot of EXP, but you do save a minute, as long as you don't lose time elsewhere. If you have the extra candy that I do, then you don't lose any. Like, you can just use that candy to make up for the XP. But there's a way to, like, safely do... The real issue is Lance. That's why you need the XP, because you want to be level 53, which is a damage boosting level, before Dragonite comes out. You don't need it if you have really good special attack, but it's very scary if you don't. But there are ways to counteract it. So yeah, this is the best part of the run. We're at the strong push like 30 times. Pumpkaboo.
Pumpkaboo.
Pikachu. Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu.
Thank you.
Thud.
Glad you picked up on that fast enough so I could stop saying it and you could do it for me.
No problem.
All right, so this is Dawson Skip. Let me like. Don't get it.
Unlucky. Bad RNG.
I think my angle is too bad. I was too up. So yeah, how the skip works is it doesn't. But
Yeah, pretty much.
what you do is you just hold right there, and if you're lucky, Rapidash spawns at a really weird specific angle, and you just dodge the guy's vision completely.
You tried .jpg. It's okay. I appreciate the effort.
But now I don't have to worry about the XP, so that's okay.
Does the extra level Agatha matter a lot?
Not really. Only matter, like, because you can candy before the Agatha fight, and the only benefit is increased speed and extra defensive stats. If that matters, you can pop it. Otherwise, you can just pop it before Lance, too. Doesn't matter. But it's not going to do anything for me, so there's not really a point of using it at all. Because my speed's not particularly good. That was Victory Road.
Onyx time, Onyx time, Onyx time, Onyx time, Onyx time.
You're right,
Yeah.
Oh yes, content.
Oh, Sailor Cat Pika, let's go. Let's go. Oh, you can't fit here? Oh, what a letdown. Oh, perfect.
You just bonked into the ceiling.
I know.
Alright, so it's Leaf 4 time.
It's time. I actually have to start saving now, too, unfortunately. Not for
Half
Laura.
of these fights are bad, half of them aren't so bad.
Yeah. I will not
it
go
starts
for the save
okay,
right
and then
here, because I want to hit Hydro Pump. So I've not missed a Hydro Pump yet, which is very unfortunate. So there's two ways to do this fight. One is to set up to +6, one is to set up to +4. The +4 fight is faster, but you have to hit a Hydro Pump, and you also have to hit a range. The +6 fight is slower, but more consistent. I'm gonna go for the +4 fight because I want to hit the Hydro Pump or miss the Hydro Pump for charity. Okay. And now this Lapras after this is gonna be a range. Hopefully, you just hit it. It's not too bad if you miss it, but you can take a lot of damage potentially. For some reason, Lorelei doesn't heal. So even if I knock this to like 1 HP, it's still not going to heal. Yeah. So this is now kind of scary, because if I miss the Hydro Pump and take damage, now I have to heal before Bruno. Man. I didn't miss any Hydro Pumps. Why can't this happen on like a PB run?
I mean, while talking about the PB run, the PB runs are always cursed.
Yeah. Okay. Since I hit every Hydro Pump, I'll just say I'll donate $10 for that. There we go.
Let's go.
Why don't you still have more Hydro Pumps to hit? For Agatha.
Not really.
Most
I'm not
important
good at it.
Hydro Pumps.
Oh, you know what? If I just heal here, I don't actually have to save. So let's just heal. Because if I get crit here, then I lose. If I save before Agatha, I can pump the Agatha. Can we do a little pump in here? And again, if I just hit every Hydro Pump, then I will just donate $10. Pumping Agatha. So yeah, you really don't want turnaround from this fight, because every time I do a super effective hit, I would be losing 2 seconds, which is why it's really important to not candy too early. 134 special attack is perfectly good here.
Does this mean more Hydro Pump content?
Actually, you
With
know what? If
special
I
attack?
candy, then I can Hydro Pump even more things, because I'll be level 53 early.
True.
Yeah. Pikachu. Heal. We'll just pop the candy. What are we at? 137. Almost like good enough speed to outspeed. Like our speed's actually really high. I got a lot of speed AVs, but you need 155 speed to get the God fight. So yeah, what can I not? I can't Hydro Pump Arbok and Golbat. Everything else I can. Okay, so we can Hydro Pump 3 things.
Yes.
Which we simply must do.
It's very
Let's
fast.
go.
You don't get
And
turnarounds.
Garm dead,
They're
by
not.
the way.
They don't get turnarounds because they're not super effective. That's what Pump Agatha saves time.
Didn't get the power of love. Because we now have good friendship, you can potentially break out of statuses just randomly. That's why sometimes if you're on dangerous pace, you'll just skip the full restore and just hope you get the status breakout here. Because because you are always going to get paralyzed here. Yeah, wheezing. Hydro Pump number 1. If I miss, I die. Yep.
Well,
That's why probably I got that nightmare.
I have missed 1 Hydro Pump.
Thus, the run is over.
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone.
yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah, well, thought this would be the run, but
Why did you do that? Oh my gosh. Come on.
oh my god, you just killed the run.
Sailor Pika. All right, no more Hydro Pump.
Pika's gonna be so sad.
All right, this time we'll get Power of Love. All right, who should we raid? No, this will be fine. Oh, Etchy's streaming.
I mean,
Really gets my noggin jogging.
Noggin jogging.
that's the big brain play, honestly.
All right, so that death costs sub 310, but that's okay. Hey, the breakout.
You did it for the content, though. That's the most important part. The crowd is happy.
So this is the optimal para breakout. It's just scary because you can get paralyzed and trolled by this wheezing. Because it is going to thunderbolt you. And we're in the clear. These Gangars are super scary because they have Shadow Ball. Alright, so next up is Lance. Lance is one of the scarier ones, especially if you have bad special attack. If you have good special attack, it's generally pretty okay. I'm going to Ether Psychic, because we used all of our Psychic PP already. I'm going to save as well, just in case something bad happens. I'll save for Champ, too. Don't need to save for anything else before this. As long as you heal for Bruno. And if you die to Lorelei, you just go back in, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to start here with the next special defend. I want to do a lot of setup on this Seadra because I need to max out my special attack before Dragonite comes out. Because Dragonite is going to be a range for me. I don't think I hit 54. Ideally we see Hyper Beam because then the recharge turns are pretty fast in comparison to damage turns. I'm going to use 3 X-Specs. Or dodges, okay. That works. Yeah. If I was like trying to be really, really safe, I could 2 controller and do some weird stuff on champion to guarantee a win, but I want to try to have like the normal, authentic run experience, which involves me usually dying. You can see here we're dodging a lot of turnarounds. Like obviously I could Thunderbolt this, I could Scald Aerodactyl, Scald this Charizard, but by using Psychic I avoid that turnaround animation, which is a good time save. And I need to be +6 anyway in order to kill the Dragonite. Cool. All right, all it's left is champ. We're almost there.
Woo!
The champ's one of the scarier fights because there's a bunch of setup, a little bit of setup you have to do. Well, you got two controller? No, I don't know what you're doing, Pika. You do controller?
No, one controller. Yeah.
All right, so you have to there's setup you have to do, and if you get crit, then you probably lose.
Yeah.
It depends on the turn that you get crit on, but you probably lose.
So this is the first fight where you actually fight a Mega Evolved Pokemon. The AI is very smart. They lead with Mega Pidgeot. It's very scary and has very strong, very high stats, and has Air Slash, and it's gonna screw us over pretty hard here. This Pidgeot has claimed a lot of runs from a lot of runners. Champion Chicago.
Champion Chicago.
So yeah, I have to leave with the next special defend here. It's very dangerous, otherwise you're just gonna die.
With the X special defend, you can survive 2 hits. Without the X special defend, you fully cannot.
X speed.
If you get crit on this turn, it's game over. Or the turn before.
Heal, get that turnaround. I'm gonna do one more X-Spec. If you have good stats, you can go for +2 T-Bolt. Oh!
There you go.
The fights were all going very well in this run until
Elite Four. Well, one of them you did specifically do a Hydro Pump on that you didn't need to do.
That is
but
fair, yeah. That was the last turn, by the way. If I didn't get crit there, I would have won. This one will go better, I swear.
I believe in the Stormy.
Stormy.
yes.
Stormy.
Stormy.
Chicago. Try again. See what happens this time. I love fighting this champion. It's such a good fight. Mega Pidgeot's really fair. Yeah. One. Good. Not getting knocked into red HP there is really nice. You save a few seconds. Come on, buddy. Yay.
So this should be an instant win from here, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, just easy
Are you
right
going for
moves.
range? Yeah. There's no range
And then,
on it, right?
no.
I'm gonna finish setting up
Time
here
will be...
So yeah,
time will be on the...
I'm gonna go for Solar Beam there unless you have really, really low HP, and then I'll go for Sludge Bomb so you get a free setup turn there. If you don't do that, you can go for Hydro Pump on Jolteon, or if you have really good special attack, you can just Psychic. I am not doing either. to last psychic, and then the very last Pokemon's gonna be Slowbro. Don't really have a way to dodge this turn around. Eevee has some fun strats here you can do if you have a Meowth, but that's a version exclusive, so we can't do it with Pikachu version, unfortunately. It's a fun marathon strat though. Alright, and then time's going to be after the fade out on the Hall of Fame. That is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. It is a very weird run where the first 2 hours are just so different from every other Pokemon speedrun, and the last hour is very traditional in comparison.
Yeah. You get the whole whole everything. You get to
You
catch.
get the whole spectrum of
you get to
vibes.
fight.
It's great. This is my favorite Pokemon speedrun because I really like the catching section. It's very interesting. There's a lot of decision making and risk reward stuff you have to balance and figure out, and it takes a long time to get good at it.
It just seems it plays a lot differently from like the traditional Pokemon game.
All right, 3-12.
GG.
Nice.
Yes, sure. I'll take it.
Yeah.
2 hard deaths, and an optional. But yeah, if you have any interest in learning this game, Switch Discord will help you out. A lot of
I made a good guide for it.
Yeah,
A good intro guide.
a lot of resources out there. This game is not as scary as it seems. It's definitely the best Pokemon game to start learning. This is the one I started with. This is my very first Pokemon speedrun that I did 2 years ago. So
Same, but not 2 years ago.
I'm a boomer. But I think that's going to be it. Thanks again for having me. Thanks everyone who donated during the run. I really appreciate it. Be sure to continue to watch and support the marathon throughout the weekend. Do you have anything else to say, May? Thank you, May.
Follow Etchy.
Sure. Follow me.
Sure. Thanks for having me here. I'll be back tomorrow, though, on the same channel, commentating A Hat in Time, so check out that tomorrow night. Closing off the whole marathon. Don't miss it. And, you better stop me, because last time I got to do shoutouts, I went through the entire credits, so...
Get us out of here, Sandman. Thank you again, everyone.